Welcome to Friday. Welcome to the weekend. That is the great, talented Rebecca Black. I don't care what you say. That's a good song. And then you saw the rapper there. He's also in the also catchy song, Chinese Food. I love Chinese food. Yeah, you know, it's a great fucking song. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Hello, Pompish. Hello, Lutron. Hello, Lizzie, Red Harlow, Markinum, all you guys in there. Timothy Doom members. Thank you so much for being a member, supporting the show. I very much appreciate it. Tech Protect is sick today. He's got the flu, which means unless we just shit the bed, we're not going to see him. So this is old school. It's just me, baby. There's no producer. I will first off put the call in at the top of the stream right now for you guys. So if anybody wants to call in, they can do that, and I'll bring you in at the appropriate time. Let me copy the link, and then I will put it in the comments. There it is. And then I'll go over to the YouTube, and I will let the YouTube humans know, hey man, if you want that, you can click it. Hang on, there it is. And then we'll start the show, my friends, my delightful friends. What's going on, man? What's going on in the world? How are you? MKNS says it's our anniversary. Whose anniversary? Come on now. Hey, we got a little dude coming out. We got French Inhaler shitting out a Diet Coke can. Hey, baby. Thank you for joining the Diet Soda Soldiers, sir. I very much appreciate it. Everybody, welcome French Tickler Inhaler with an emoticon of your favorite emoticon. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. I would rather stay just social currency and populate your content without a membership, if you don't mind. I mean, I don't fucking mind. I mean, I'd love you to support the show, and social currency is not nothing. Where's Rebecca Black now? She's still making music. I mean, the funny thing about this woman is this song got almost 200 million views, and 200 million fucking views, and she got just ridiculed online. I think she got bullied at school. She was in the Katy Perry video about last Friday night, but she's actually a talented person. My daughter sent me a really interesting video over the week called like The End of Trying or something, but the gist of it was everybody mocks people in this generation, like the current, everybody's so terrified of being seen as cringe that everybody's embarrassed to be seen as trying. You either have to achieve or you're cringe failure. So people just get stuck and they don't do anything, and it's a whole video. It's really fascinating. But I look at Rebecca Black, and I'm like, fuck, man, she's a hustler. She went out there. She wanted to be a singer. It's a good fucking song too. Hey, Daniel, what's up? Oh my God, Daniel. I'm only just now from Philip. That's my nephew in the chat, Daniel. I'm only just now from my brother, Philip, learning what's going on with kind of the I don't even know what to say without giving away too much. The drama on one side of the family as it relates to marriages and whatnot. Holy shit. I am very excited to think and hear the message that everything turns out great. What will I do this weekend? I don't think Friday's a terrible song. I think Friday's a genuinely good, fun pop song. A lot of you guys just have no joy in your life, and because of that, you can't listen to something and go, oh my God, that's just fun to bounce to, man. That's just fun to drive to with the windows down, and that's nothing wrong with a song like that, man. But what am I doing this weekend? Well, I got to tell you about a dream first. There's my little icon for dream. I got to tell you about a dream I had, then I'll tell you what I'm doing this weekend. Well, not even a specific dream, but I had a series of dreams last night. And it was just constantly things like I was staying over at the house of relatives that I haven't seen in like 30 years, or I was staying with a friend I haven't seen in a long time. And it was just very awkward because I didn't know their rules, and I felt really bad about, okay, well, when I wake up, do I say I'm staying another night? Do I clean up? Do I wash the sheets? Like, what do you do? Right. And I realized what it was is because I'm doing this stuff over at the Lolcow channel as well, 8:00 every night, Monday through Friday. And we'll be on tonight. And it's just, there's so many different people over there that I'm engaging with. Whereas here, I've just been engaging pretty much with you guys and myself, and now we're bringing tech on, and obviously we have like Rob and Bukaki and people in the RPG and the mods and great people. But, you know, I don't really have a group around me all the time. And so I don't know these people. Like some of these people I'm having a great fun time with. Some of them are real serious and they get real upset with this shit that I do. And I'm just like, I don't fucking know what's going on. So I think my brain was trying to sort of work through that last night and just go, dude, you just got to settle in, take the adventure, whether it works or not. There are going to be some people that don't, vibe with you and some people that do. Eddie says, Jaffe, I think it's a good point. Eddie says, I think cringe culture is prevalent in younger generations since the internet and social media has kept people a lot more socially disconnected. So they're more sensitive and self-conscious. I think that, and then just the likes and the hearts and the up and down votes, the ratios, like this younger generation really seems to give a shit. They really seem to care about that currency. And that's, you know, whatever. We'll see how it translates into IRL shit like mortgages and jobs and whatnot. But I think they feel that that is a meaningful gauge of something. But even if it is, what is that saying about them? It's basically saying, okay, you have something you want to do or express. And if the culture downvotes it or ratios it, what, you just should be quiet? Or maybe you just go, yeah, that sucks. Sometimes people aren't going to like what you're about, but stay true to yourself. It's weird, man. I don't know. I don't know how I would respond if I was a kid. If I was a kid in that culture, but you know, who's to say? Did I watch the Terminator game trailer? I did. It was absolutely fucking excellent. It was absolutely fucking delightful. It is a 2D Terminator Genesis-esque game, but it could never be done on the Genesis. If you haven't seen the trailer, let me put it up while we're talking real quick. It's really cool. It comes out, I think, in September. Terminator Game Zero. I don't fucking know what it's called. Terminator 2D No Fate. Here you go. This is what we're talking about. I'll put it up real quick. Showing the screen. So yeah, this is coming out from Bitmap Bureau. I don't know what they've done, but yeah, it looks really, really good. And it's got the likeness rights and stuff. But what's cool about it is it looks like, you know, when they made Super Star Wars and it was basically the plot of the movie, but then they kind of told it in 2D side scroller. It's basically that, but obviously there's a lot more tech here than what you could actually do back in the Sega Genesis or Sega CD days. So I love shit like this. I was talking actually on the Tech Talk over on Locale last night about what other games that they could do that are like this, you know, that aren't just licensed games, but retellings of the movie and maybe fleshing out the movie a little bit with new scenes and stuff. I'd love to see Raiders. I'd love to see Lethal Weapon. I'd love to see Schindler's List, Predator. I think Lethal Weapon 2 would actually be even better as a game than Lethal Weapon 1. So I love this. This will be out in September. So yes, I've seen it. Looks great. Totally excited for it. So here's what we're going to be. Oh yeah, Die Hard would be great. Die Hard would be great. Fanto says, hit the like, chatters. You goddamn right. You know, here, I want to tell you, oh, here we go. Come on, give me the thumbs up, baby. Yeah. I want to tell you something. So here was my theory. And here's, if you guys are asking like what the locale show is going like. I want to tell you what I'm learning about over there that they're just really good at, that I suck at. Like, I always liked and believed in the idea that if you guys, and this is crazy that I don't like this awareness that's dawned on me, but here it is. I always thought that if you guys liked the show and if you guys supported the show, I wouldn't need to say anything. I wouldn't need to say to hit the likes. I wouldn't need to say to remind you to subscribe. I wouldn't need to say, hey, if you're interested in a membership, consider a membership. We have 3 different tiers. Here's what they offer. I figured, you know, when I see something I like, I just do the work and, you know, find it and click it and stuff. But apparently the folks over at Locale are like, no, man, you people are busy. You gotta push that shit. So yeah, as Fanto says, hit the like, you sons of bitches, only if you like it. Now, what am I doing this weekend? Well, here are my 2 things I'm doing this weekend. One relates to Saturday, my friends, and one relates to Sunday. On Saturday, we will be, or I will be, because I just checked in and got approval of it today. It's not going to be on our Discord. It is going to be on the Locale Discord. I and maybe some other co-host over there, but certainly myself will be streaming in the Discord, some show. Maybe there's a really neat show coming up this weekend that we would all like to enjoy watching together live. Maybe there is. I don't know what it's called. Maybe that's happening soon. So, Saturday, that's sort of a big part of my day is watching that. It's going to be cool because especially I usually like the women's wrestling, but the men's wrestling, the elimination, well, I can't talk about it, but the point is, it's, you got some big stars fighting in the elimination chamber. Let's say that. And then Sunday, when we usually do, which we're still going to do our normal D&D game on this channel. We may or may not show this Sunday at 3 because it's really up to the Dungeon Master Hector, but I will be streaming this sometime on Sunday. So Sigil, which is what I've been talking about to you guys for a while, is now available to download for everybody on PC. And this is I think I can run it now. Let me see if I can just show it to you very quickly. But what this is, it's basically Unreal 5 letting you play. In fact, I'll just put the trailer up. Just trust me, I played it. We might be playing an adventure coming up this weekend on it, but I'll certainly be streaming it just to show you guys the tools. I get not everybody is into the D&D, and that's great. But if you're even curious about it, I think once this really kicks off and becomes a thing, it is really going to bring tabletop gaming to a lot more people. And it's going, hang on, project, it said Sigma. No, I don't want that video. Project Sigil. Because you'll see it's much more interesting to, to watch people playing D&D in this system, right? So here it is right here. I'll put it on the screen for you. So it's basically what it looks like. It's still tabletop, but you can build your own maps. You can get characters, you can customize them. All the rules are in there. And it's fucking cool, man. I love tabletop gaming. I'm only now getting into it. But if you're curious about it, you can download it. If you have a decent computer, or you can just watch us play or watch me stream, depending on what we do on Sunday. So that's what I'm going to be doing Sunday. And of course, watching the Oscars, I guess. I maybe hate watching the Oscars. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I haven't even seen Wicked yet, let alone, I've seen half of The Substance, which I liked, but I haven't finished it. So I don't know. I guess I'll watch it. I don't know. Maybe I'll hate watch it in the background while we're playing D&D. I have no fucking clue. We'll see. But the Oscars ain't what they used to be, boys. They ain't what we used to be at all. Let me bring in a couple of people. I don't have a lot of time to chat right now because there's a lot to get through. On today's show, we're going to talk about video game news. There's a lot of that. Oh, Conan O'Brien's hosting the Oscars, which I think will be great. Jose says my grandma has a figure or had a figure of the Beholder from D&D on her wall in her living room. If you don't know what the Beholder is, before I get to the calls, Beholder, D&D. This is apparently what your grandmother had on her wall. And she sounds like an absolute, she sounds like an absolute freak of nature and that's delightful. There she is right there. Not your grandma, but that's the Beholder. But we're going to get to video game news. We'll probably get to some politics. Shit, I don't look, shit's crazy in the Oval Office. I'm sure you've seen it, but we'll talk about it. All right. Let me get to Hector first. This is our Dungeon Master. Hector, what's going on, buddy? What do you think? Project Sigil is now out in the wild for the world to play. How excited are you? I'm excited. What do you think?
It's going to be cool. What we saw last weekend was certainly encouraging. And yeah, I'm excited to run a first hour of our show on Sunday, doing a little test of it. I have a little demo thing set up for us. So it should be fun, should be quick, should be a good showcase, and just wanted to come on and basically say that.
Okay. And we'll start at 3:00 or knowing us 3:30, 3:15, somewhere in there, but we're supposed to start at 3. I'm going to try to have it all set up. I don't know if I have time to get it set up before though. So we'll see. Although our show will have it doesn't matter. We'll get into details later. Okay. Yeah. Excellent. Hector, I'll see you on Sunday. Have a good weekend, man.
See you soon. You too.
All right. Bye, bud. All right. Let's bring on Swapfire. Swapfire, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going, Jaffe? Good to see you.
Not too shabby. Did you see the Twisted Metal news today?
I did not.
Okay, I'm going to bring it up pretty soon on the show. Okay. So they finally revealed some screenshots of the canceled Twisted Metal game, and let's just say what you and I are talking about, maybe thinking about, much, much cooler. much
Yes.
cooler. What they're doing is exactly what you expected them to do, and it's like,
not surprising. I was
Yeah.
thinking that idea. Actually, I saw a YouTube video where a guy made a motorcycle using that mechanic.
Yes, it's the big red wheels,
Yeah.
right? It's beautiful. That's the best. That's the best expression.
Fall off it. Yeah, if you could fall off of it, but like you're way more powerful when you're on it, but it seems like a risk reward mechanic might be in there somewhere.
Yeah, the novelty of in and out of the car, I think, has long since passed, and so I think if we do it in a new car combat game, it would be because we say there's something there besides the novelty. Like what I did in Twisted Metal 12 that pissed off a lot of people was put a helicopter in it. Mm-hmm. But the only reason the helicopter was in it was not mechanically, but it was a conceptual idea that I just thought it was so cinematic movie making to put a helicopter like in an action film, and it actually just broke everything. So getting on and out of vehicles in a new Twisted to me is really going to be based on, can we really make that an extension of the overall experience versus, because Grand Theft Auto Online does it now. Tons of games do it. Fortnite does it all the time. They just had a mode, so we'll see. Anyway, what's going on? What do you want to talk about real quick?
First thing was when you were talking about likes and all that type of stuff, and does it translate to mortgages, which in some people's cases, it seems like it does.
How?
In most people's cases, it seems like it's taking their time away from the things that would. And what we're seeing is people get very rich, like the people that own the social media networks and all that stuff. But the people that are putting all their time into it are getting poorer. So I actually, it's funny. So it's an
inverse response to what they think it's going to be, right? So if you're,
I actually don't use any social media anymore, other than unfortunately YouTube has grabbed me because of everything. So
YouTube's not really social media though. YouTube, out of all of them, I mean, yes, there's the algorithm, but I saw a study the other day, or a stat the other day, that people watching on YouTube on television now is like surpassed a bunch of other old media. If my ex-wife, who is not even she's allergic to social media. She doesn't care about it. Doesn't affect her, but she's YouTube all the time. Not because she's into rage bait, but because she's like, oh, I'll watch exercise shows and cooking shows and how to fix your lights. And, you can make YouTube whatever you want, basically. So I'm kind of a real fan of the platform, actually.
Oh yeah. I try as much as possible to use the smartphone, YouTube, or if I do go into social media, to try to use it as a tool and not let it start to consume my time. But it is a challenge because I'll get on YouTube and then I'll start wanting to go back to that homepage and be like, what do they have for me now? And,
absolutely.
And meanwhile, I should be coding over here.
I understand. So what's the last thing? Cause I got to rush today, buddy. I'm sorry about that.
No worries. Bitmap Bureau. So those guys are like,
the Terminator
gaming
right?
Space. Yeah. So they, the last two games I made were Sega Genesis games. Nobody knows what they are because they're running on my own platform, but those guys made an awesome game. I can't remember the name of it right now. It's like a top-down, almost like a Smash TV style game. I'm
looking at it.
I wish I could remember the name of it. It's killer. But I looked at that Terminator game, and I don't know if it's like a Neo Geo game, maybe, or if it's a Genesis game, or if it's just made to look like that.
No. It's a PC game.
Crisis. Yes.
Yeah, it's a PC game, and it'll be out on everything.
So that Xenocrisis was originally a Sega Genesis game, and it's incredible.
This is good to play. I don't know if I've heard. You can just pick this up anywhere at this point.
Yeah. We could play it actually together if you want using my platform. You could just play it in emulator.
All right, I'll keep it up on the screen and I'll download it and play it, and I'll see how it grabs me, and if so, we can play it together. All right, buddy. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk soon, bud. Have a great weekend. You too. All right, let me bring on D, then Turtle, then we'll get to some news. D, it's Jaffe. What's going on?
Yo.
Hey.
So
right. I got nothing, baby. What do you want to talk about?
I was going to ask, like, okay, so now that the Switch 2's been announced and the end on the horizon, so far, like, what do you think of the whole experience
of the Switch?
Yeah.
I love Nintendo, right? I was there when the NES launched. I was there when Donkey Kong and Super Mario Brothers were arcade games, but I find the Switch to be as successful as it's been for me personally as a gamer. I found it lacking. There were a few games I liked, but I rarely use it. I got it the day it came out. I just don't think it has the same. I don't think it has the same Nintendo magic as even the Wii U. And I know the Wii U was a disaster. I'm not trying to be like edgy or anything. I think there were games on the Wii U that just connected with me as a Nintendo fan more. And this was the first generation from Nintendo that just felt just normal and less magical.
I think, yeah, like I've been thinking about this, like, you know, since the Switch came out and since the PS5 and Xbox came out like a little later, basically most of the American third-party developers left.
Yep.
And meanwhile, like the only people
get something interesting, get right to the point. Go, baby. What do you want to share? We're not just having drink. Hey, we're not just having drinks and playing footsie in hopes that we connect in a magical, biblical way. You got to entertain the audience. Why are you calling?
Okay. I'm getting to the real subject.
I don't need preamble, baby. Go.
I noticed, like, you know, most of the American developers basically jumped on the other console because, like, you know, they were higher powered, you know, all that. And then you got the Japanese developers that I feel like they were the only company that, you know, hey, this is how the hardware works.
Do you remember that time a while ago, though? Because you've called in before, but you remember the time a while ago when I said, make what you're saying interesting to the audience? Remember that? That was fun.
Yeah.
All right, buddy, call back anytime, but not today. You're on fire sometimes today. Hey, why don't we get knocked down to learn how to get back up? You'll be back, D. Nobody thinks you're on the way out. We love you, buddy. All right, here we go. Let's bring in the P Turtle. P Turtle, bring us out.
What's going on, Jaffe? Can you hear me?
I can hear you great. We're going to get to some news soon.
What are you such a rush for? You got to take a shit or
Because
something?
I have 2 shows. I have to be on time, and more importantly,
so this is what happens. You join this tech talk. And you leave us behind.
I have you invited on to Tech Talk. I want to bring you on to Tech Talk. We're just trying to figure out.
Let me get to that real quick.
Yeah, go.
I need 3 days to get on there. I literally quit my job to get on there.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
And I told them to tune in 3 nights straight. They waited for me. Nothing happened.
Why that's not believable?
Why?
Because we know if you actually had parents that were still living, they would have disowned you ages ago. Maybe when you started dating high school girls.
You know what's funny? I do have parents that are living, and I'm actually flying to Miami tonight to go see them. My mom and dad are in Brickell. I'm going to go to Brickell, and it's beautiful out there.
They're the only 2 black Jews in Miami, is what I would guess.
But real quick, what was I going to say? Well, now that you're going to rush me off, I'll just say this.
I'm not going to rush you off. I haven't gotten to the news yet, so I usually put the calls at the end. But I saw a bunch of people in the front.
I get it.
You can call back towards the end if you want, but keep going. Go.
I was just going to say, what'd you think of Trump kicking Zelensky out the White House, man?
Well, okay.
Put on a fucking suit.
Do me a favor. Call in if you're around, because we are going to talk about that, and you probably know what I thought about it. But that's a fascinating topic. So when we get there, and we will get there in the next 30 minutes, if you're around, call in, because I would love your take on it.
I'll do that. And when you eventually bring me on to Tech Talk, I'm going to wear a suit. I'm going to keep the camera off, but I'm wearing a suit.
Okay, a costume, you mean?
No, a suit. I'm going to dress up. But all right, I'll call in.
Talk to you soon. All right, see you, bud. All right, there he goes, fellas. All right, let's do this. Let's do what I like to call the news. Come on now. Monster Hunter Wilds, my delightful friends. And by the way, yeah, somebody in the chat said, Jaffe, you should have a membership goal. All right, let's see if we can learn from those guys over at LOLCal. I don't agree at all with the politics of a lot of them. I hope I can get a LOLCal liberal show going over there. But that said, they do some good business to some extent, depending on what we're talking about. Some things worry me, but I was like, wow, you guys are, playing without a net over there. Sometimes it's kind of scary. But that said, though, all right, here's our membership goal: 25 members this stream, and I will show you an extremely rare piece of God of War 1 2005 concept art. Okay. 25 members this stream. They can come as individuals. They can come as gifted. I don't like the fact that those guys make more money than we make. Okay. All right, let's do this. Here we go. Monster Hunter Wilds. Now, I am probably not going to play this. I played I played the betas and I liked them. And my experience with them was this is just going to be if I get sucked into it, it's going to be a big time suck. And I don't have the time to be owned by a game right now. And it'll probably take me 3 or 4 weeks to even get sucked into it. Right. And so I got the beta, I got the gist, I'm moving on. But guess who's not moving on? The rest of the goddamn world. Because Monster Hunter Wilds has opened with 1.3 day one concurrent players. This beats Cyberpunk 2077 and Elden's Ring peak player count. Okay, is it going to stay there? Who's to say? I don't fucking know. But that said, there we go. We're off to the races. Let me show you some of the stuff that people are talking about. And again, I played the beta. I liked the beta. This person says fucking insane how good the character creator for it is. It's pretty goddamn good. If you spend a lot of time with it, it's pretty goddamn good. So people are loving it. Yeah, 1.3 million players right now, concurrently as of 7 hours ago. This is insane. MK Ness, I get Monster Hunter. MK Ness says I don't really get it. I get it and I like it. I just, like I said, I can't make the time. But it leads me into wondering, and this is a great story that came out today, Capcom's best-selling game franchise of all time. Capcom is almost certainly my number one video game publisher in the world, at least third party. But I love them. I love them. But Monster Hunter has never really been my cup of tea. But here we go. Let's go through their top 20. They released this. This is delightful. Commando. Whoever thought you'd hear that again? You got to be a kid of the 80s to know what the fuck they're talking about. 1.2 million. We'll buzz through the first couple. 1.4 for 1942, an old arcade game, which I loved. Final Fight, 3.2. Now I'm wondering if this is the franchise. These are all of them collectively. Okay. Breath of Fire, the series. That's nice. You'd think it would do better. I like the series, but I don't know if you were to bring it back today, if it would actually have enough. I don't know if it would have enough that's wrong, juice, guts, sex, appeal, whatever, because it's kind of generic and there's so many games like it now that Breath of Fire, I don't think would, I don't know if you could really figure out what it was that made it magical, but there you go. I don't even know what the fuck this is. Hack and slash franchise 4.1 million called Sengoku Basara. Okay. Dino Crisis 4.5, but it's also the number one or number two, depending on the poll game that people want to have a Resident 2 remake, glow up remake. Hopefully it will come because I would love to see that as well. Okami 4.6. We're getting a remake / sequel coming out pretty soon. I don't think Resident Evil is at the top. I think Monster Hunter Naughty Dog is at the top. Ghost and Goblins is 4.6. Now I don't know if you throw in Maximo because I think Maximo is this dude, right? But still, those games weren't that successful. I mean, they were critically successful and people love them, but they didn't sell that great. 4.6 million. Okay, number 11, Lost Planet. That's surprising because, all right, 6.8. I liked it for what it was, but Onimusha, love we're getting a new one. Love we're getting a new one and a remake of 2, which I loved. Okay, Da Vinci says you got to get the goal on the number on the screen. Well, I don't know if I can do that, but I'll try real quick. Here you go. Okay, I'll make it real fancy. Here we go. Okay. Member goal 0, you guys. What's the matter with you? 0 out of 50. And then what would we say? We would say C, very, very, very rare. God of War 1, 2005. Relic art thing. Come on, what the hell? You guys, that's what real gamers they would support. Well, why is it not moving? Double click. Let's go. Oh, I guess that's right. Okay. Anyway, all right, let's go back to it. So there you go. Look at that. That's how we do it. This is how we do it. Jake DeWitt, we got one. Let's update it. We're 1 out of 50. No, did we say 50? What do we say? I don't want to go back on my word here, but let's I think it was 50. If it wasn't, let me know. All right, 1 out of 50. There we go. Update. Okay. Moving on though. Thank you for that, Jake DeWitt. Thank you very much. Jake DeWitt, you get a song. Jake DeWitt, don't give a shit. He's gonna come in your mouth. All right, Jake, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Now, moving on with our goddamn lives. Thank you, bud. Lost Planet 2 was Helldivers before. Yeah, I get it. Okay. Marvel versus Capcom. Interesting. That's kind of on the downside right now, but I hope it comes back stronger than ever. Although there's no new entries right now planned. 12 million. Number 10, number 8, Ace Attorney. 13 million. 7, The Great and Mighty Dragon's Dogma. I love 2. I know a lot of people seemed a little disappointed in it, but I enjoyed the shit out of it. That is sitting at number 7. Number 6 is Devil May Cry. Oh, there's a new animated series coming to Netflix. The trailers look pretty good. I'd love to see them find a way to make this. I wonder, not that all you have to do is say open world and it's great, but I wonder what an open world DMC would be like. Like if the dungeons themselves, even though they don't have to present as dungeons, were classic Devil May Cry fixed cameras or semi-fixed cameras, but then out in the world, it's like over the shoulder 3D. 3D, obviously, the third person perspective. I don't know, could be interesting. Spread out the lore. I'd love to see him do things like, I like the idea of having open worlds with airplanes because it feels more like an international adventure, right? So he goes to the airport and then he flies to Hong Kong for something, but in the plane, there's like a Bayonetta battle on one of the planes and shit goes crazy. And I'd love it. I would fucking love it. Who's talking to me? Who's asking me something? Oh, there's okay, I got it. Okay, number 5, Dead Rising. Now that's surprising. I wonder how successful the recent Dead Rising was because they just put out a new one. Reporter Jez Corden says something new might be brewing for Dead Rising. Nothing's confirmed yet. We had the remaster just this past year. Haven't played it yet. Heard it was pretty good. 18 million. Here we go. The top 4 Capcom video games franchises. Mega Man, which is staggering. Good and goddamn well that Mega Man needed to have that success early on, like in the SNES days or the NES days. Because there's no way any of these recent Mega Mans, at least in America, have done delightfully well. But I know when I talked to Colin, I think it's his favorite series. So 42 million. That is surprised to see that so high. Here we go. Can anybody guess the top 3? First, I do want to say Kanji. Kanji was a man who had a plan. He joined a band and called it Nirvana. He changed his name to Billy Zane. And they said, you go be in Titanic because we already have this guy, Kurt Cobain. Kanji, thank you for that very, very generous gift donation to 5 new members of the Diet Soda Soldiers. Very kind. Everybody thank Kanji. Don't be assholes. And now our member goal has jumped. Let's prove this motherfucker Nawdog, who's always been a thorn in my side. He's always contrarian Nawdog is what I like to call him in my fantasies. And he's like, you're dreaming if you think you guys can get that many members. Hey, fine with me. You got to try, baby. That's the problem with people like you, Nawdog. You got to put yourself out there. You got to try. We've gone from 1 out of 50 to 6 out of 50. How is that bad? Because we fucking tried. Thank you, Kanji. Let's move on with our goddamn lives. Here we go. Fanto has been a member for 1 month. Thank you, buddy. He says Capcom have been releasing some bangers these last few years. Yep. Love to see it. Dragon's Dogma 2, Dead Rising Deluxe, RE Games, and Monster Hunter. The engine is fire. You're absolutely right. I was talking to Jay on our show over there, Tech Talk, about the rendering engine in the cutscenes because I have never seen cutscenes as good as Monster Hunter Wilds because your customized character is in those. So it's either pre-rendered or they're doing some weird go motion shit, but it's fucking cool. Anyway, thank you, Fanto and Father Alex. Yes, I will be getting Split Fiction. Here we go. Number 3, Street Fighter has sold 56 million units regardless of how you define them. Arcade cabinets, blah, blah, blah. Or home console, SNES cartridges, 56 million. Pretty goddamn good. Here we go. Number 2, Monster. Oh, I was wrong. Nawdog was right. Nawdog can be right from time to time. Not often, though. Monster Hunter, 108 million. And it's probably going to jump to about 150 million by the end of Monster Hunter Wilds run. 108 million, debuted in 2004. All right, here we go. Finally, number 1. The mighty, mighty Resident Evil, 176 million copies, debuted in 1996. It competes with Metal Gear Solid for being my favorite franchise of all time. My favorite fucking franchise of all time. So I love it. It makes me happy. It makes me want to go down to the river and fish and then take the fish and see if I can commune with them by just French kissing them. I love this. I love this. And it says Resident Evil 9 is rumored to be in the works as an open world title. Barbarian director Zach Kreger is working on a Resident Evil reboot movie. And let's be clear, that movie is being made in some strange way in affiliation with PlayStation Productions that has not missed. It doesn't mean everything they make is genius, but it means everything they make is at least solid. They haven't ever shat the bed with something. Even something like Gran Turismo, the movie, we saw it in the theater. We were all like, yeah, it's pretty good. Never think about it again, but it's a solid motion picture show. So there you go. Capcom is on fire. I would love to know sort of philosophically what's happening in the Capcom boardroom about sort of what is their philosophy that is getting them this success. Sammy M says Beautiful Joe was robbed. Well, I think they really need to remaster that because I do think there's something special there, but it's not going to, they might need to figure out a new way to twist it. Listen to this. Jake DeWitt doesn't give a shit. Not a whole lot, not a little bit. He steps to the plate and says, I'll make it 8 because here's 5 goddamn memberships. Thank you, Jake DeWitt. You have now kicked us up to good God almighty. We are now at 11 out of 50. We may make our goal today, folks, and you may see some exceptionally rare God of War art that you have never seen before. Or if you've seen it, it's been a long time ago and it's been in the background, but I've never actually brought it here on camera and walk you through it. It's going to be cool. So we're getting there, folks. Let's say Jake DeWitt is Lord. So can you top Jake DeWitt? I know Kanji topped him or got there first, but you're only as good as your last hit, boys. So there we go. Let's put that up on the screen. There we go. Okay. Now moving on. Who's tweeting me over here? I need to make sure there's nothing emergency happening. Yeah, there you go, Rob. That's not bad. Rob's well, okay. We'll make that a separate conversation. Rob has a really good idea. He just sent me on Discord, Rob the mod, but I can't talk about it right now because it'll derail me. But yeah. Okay. Any chance Tech Talk could start 1 hour earlier? It's not me, man. That's all, Keemstar and his behind the scenes people. I just kind of show up when I can. By the way, I want to let you know, tonight, hey, our good old buddy, it is Shoto, who thinks I should make a movie or something.
Shadow has just donated £4.99 through Super Chat. Thanks,
what is this, a
pal.
Dickens novel?
Looking good shaved, Mr. Jaffe.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that very generous donation to my new cult. I appreciate it. Oh my God, I can't tell you. I can't tell you. Well, first off, Hideo Shoto, thank you. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it, man. Yes, Sergeant Frosty, there are some great new Steam demos that I'll be sharing tonight or this weekend. What I was going to say, though, is, man, talking about my cult, I don't want to make entertainment out of anyone's tragedy. I try to never do that. But I so want to talk about what's going on because it's both traumatic and makes me very sad and worried. And it's also fascinating. There are some family members who I love very much that, let's just say that there's just some weird shit going on, and my heart goes out to all of them involved as it relates to sort of cult activity. And I can't say anymore. And I'm not making content out of it. It's just really weighing heavily on my mind since I learned about it. It makes me worried, but also fascinated. Okay. All right. But I was saying that I cannot start Tech Talk sooner, but I do want to let you know, we met our goal last night. Matthew, that's great. Matthew says, with Jaffe doing the new show, I now know what it's like when dad gets a new family. You know what? Fuck you. Let's talk about it briefly. So on tonight's show, last night we hit our membership goal of 50 people over there. And the goal over there, the victory run over there is tonight we are bringing a cam girl on. We had the audience vote. Do you want a man or a woman? It was a woman by like 48% or 84%. And so we're going to bring a cam girl on. It's going to be R-rated, not X-rated, no nudity. And we are going to ask her 10 trivia questions about video games. And every one she gets wrong, she has to spank herself and say, I'm such a bad, bad girl. to whoever it is who asked that question in the members. So, hey, it's not that I want to, trust me, I did this for a very long time and I'm still going to be doing this. I love this channel. I love this community, but, they pay, but you guys, Hidosho does, Jake does, Fanto does, Kanji does, French does, all the members do. Why don't I just play the Cam Girl in Twisted Metal? There's Cam Girl in Twisted Metal. MK Ness, well, you can join us tomorrow. Oh, it was a funny joke. It was a very funny joke. Okay, no, it's a real Cam Girl that me and Tech Protect are gonna make it work. Okay, let's move forward. But seriously, thank you, Hidosho and Jake. Listen to this. I know it hasn't become what they want it to be yet, or at least I think what they want it to be is the new E3 IGN Live. It was premiered last year. They are doing it again this year. I don't plan on going. I do plan on watching and streaming from it. I don't know if it dovetails into Summer Game Fest or not, but I like they're doing this. I like that this makes a lot of sense because it's for the fans. It is done through an organization that can get a lot of big news dropping there and a lot of eyes on it. So, and then there's little babies with diapers, and I think that's really, really fucking cool. So, it will be there. And they say that they're going to have, games, movies, shows, comics, giveaways, panels, games. There'll be lots of premieres. So I think this is great. I think this is fucking great. I may actually go because, I am going to go to, I am going to be going to the God of War panel in March now that is happening, I think, on the 20th. So if you're in the area and you want to come say hi and see the panel, I'll be there along with, I think, Eric Williams. I can't tell you who's going to be there though, because I don't think I'm allowed, or I haven't talked to them yet, but I don't know if I'm allowed to share anything other than I think I'll be there. But once I get in the habit of getting out of the house again, maybe I'll go to this too. Maybe I'll go to this too. So anyway, but this is cool. I'm excited. Last year it was decent. I wasn't like, oh my God, they nailed it. But you got to start somewhere. It's the second year it will welcome all audience of all ages to Magic Box at the Reef. It's downtown. It's multi-days. This is what it looks like. So it's not the convention center. It's not massive yet. But it's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. So I'm looking forward to it. Where will the panel be for God of War? God of War panel 20th, somewhere in LA. I think it's like an art gallery. God of War 20th anniversary exhibition gallery nucleus. So let's see. Event detail. It'll be East Main Street, Alhambra, California. So Los Angeles. Art is viewable from March 16th, but there is a panel one of those nights, and that will cost you $15 to get in. Tickets are available in a couple of days. It's limited to 130 seats, and it's 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock. So 2 signing items per person, outside items per subject, to 10 items each. So I don't, go. Here's the link if you guys are interested, but I think I'll be there. I appreciate that Eric reached out. I'm glad there's no hard feelings, even though, I've made it clear that Ragnarok is not my favorite, but I loved it in aspects. But, okay. Yes, I saw that, Matthew, the guy who did the music for Persona and Metaphors working on a new game. It's very cool. I think we showed it on the stream recently. I think there's a demo up now, but there is a video, and what it is when you and your team are moving around, it's over the shoulder Resident Evil 2 camera, but the minute you enter combat, it's Persona style combat. So it's kind of cool what I've seen, and it's like they said it's inspired by Metal Gear, so it's that kind of future tech kind of thing. Did I see Ricardo in here? Where'd Ricardo go? Hang on. Where'd you go? Hang on. There he is, Ricardo. Thank you, buddy, for the super chat, but also good to see you, man. He says, will the European Union boycott U.S. food, content, etc. over today? We're going to get to that in just a little bit, Ricardo. Thank you for the super chat, but let's just say that, I mean, this is probably seismic, but as a lefty, I know that when you really are all in on one side, it's easy to buy into the propaganda of your side. And so I don't want to jump at this yet and go, this is really bad. Let's just say this. It is the perception for the people who are like me is this was absolutely unacceptable, horrible. But how many times has Trump done that? Or on the other side, they say our guys have done that. So I don't fucking know. But I can just tell you that I was staggered by what happened in the White House today. And we'll talk about it a little bit. Popish, thank you. Been a member for a month. He says you should check out a game called Kingdom Under Fire Heroes. It's a hacking game. You can switch between different armies. What? Kingdom Under. The one thing I will tell you, though, Under Fire Heroes, is when I was making the poll over on YouTube to ask, because, we have surprisingly, delightfully, we do have a lot of lady folk watching. Is this a demo? Is this available as a demo? We do have a lot of women watching, and I'm sure we have a lot of gay men watching. And so I was like, well, let's give the people the choice. If they watch tonight, the cam girl, you can have a guy cam guy or a girl cam girl. And I had to search for a picture. And so I have like sexy cam girl, and then I'm like, all right, let me type in sexy cam guy. And I know good and goddamn well that eventually I'm going to be doing a search in here, because I'm not ashamed of my searches, but that's going to come up and someone's going to say, did you see? Let's see, sexy cam guy and sexy cam girl. And no, I will not click it because it's nudity, but then I cropped it. The point is, do I ever miss E3? Says MK Ness. What I miss the most about, and by the way, I'm getting nervous, you guys. We're only 11 into our 50 goal. There is I'm looking at it right now. Incredibly rare. Like you guys know me. Let's be clear. I get rid of most of my shit. I got rid of my BAFTA. I got rid of all my awards. I only kept that one for a reason that longtime viewers of the show know has nothing to do with liking awards, has everything to do with just who gave it to me. But I haven't gotten rid of that. And that's the kind of thing that when I die, I'll donate it to like a video game museum or something. And if you are not interested, that's fine. But you're just not a big fan of God of War, and that's fine. I'll let Corey know when I see him at the panel. But you know who is a big fan? Hideshoto. He just gifted 5 fucking memberships, buddy. Thank you so goddamn cockadoodie much. You, sir, are a man of the people. That's what you do when you're a man of the people. You're a man of the people. Thank you so much, Hidoshoto. And Jonathan Busher has just also, of the Cincinnati Bushers, has given away 1 membership to this channel. These are the kind of people that we want in the foxhole with us when the war against JD Vance starts to heat up. And yes, we will talk about that in a minute. But first, because of Hidoshoto and Jonathan, we have to change the math. It's time for math, boys. We just got 6 new. So now we're getting there. Maybe we'll actually make it. Maybe we'll actually make this goddamn goal, and I'll actually achieve something in my fucking life for once, because we're now talking 17 out of 50. We're almost halfway there. Good God. What delightful human beings you all are. Thank you, fellas and filettes. All right. Let's move forward. I miss E3, says Matthew, but it puts a lot of pressure on the team. I mean, that's true, but here's the thing I miss the most about E3, honestly, is I miss going to E3 the day before, because you go to E3 the day before and you are able to walk around if you're an exhibitor. And that's when most of the games are there. The booths are being set up, but you're able to kind of play 30-40% with no crowds, just your friends. You can go have lunch. The cafeteria there is open. And that's kind of like being Michael Jackson when he closed down Disneyland and just had the park to himself. That's the closest I've ever and probably will ever come to that kind of experience. And that was great. But once E3 started getting really, really, really packed, it became just for me, because I don't like a lot of crowds. And also I got older. I was just like, no, I can't do this. I won't do this. Right. But I miss parts of E3, but not all of E3. I don't really have my soundboard hooked up, but if I did, it might sound something like this. Let's see. soundboard. Hey, why did the chicken cross the road? To get away from being fucked by Bukkake. Listen to this, fellas. Pompish has stepped up to the plate with a new membership. God damn, Pompish. We almost lost Pompish the other day.
Thoughts on Mike Johnson saying Medicaid is anti-gamer to empower single moms? Those moms should pay higher taxes so the government
Alex?
can
Is
give
that
more money
Alex?
for games.
Hey, Eddie Torres. We'll get you in 1 second, buddy. But first, I want to say Pompish, we almost lost him the other day. He came into the chat and said, I don't like the mods. And I think we fixed it. So not here, but over on Discord. Thanks, Pompish, for that. Sergeant Frosty has gifted a membership. Thank you, Sergeant Frosty. You are going to go down in history as one of the men that did the heavy lifting, or one of the women that did the heavy lifting to reveal God of War content to the world that has yet to be revealed. And then Awesome Tatum coming through like the champ he is. Now, Awesome Tatum owes you nothing and owes me nothing, because he's the guy that I am always getting great demo and, hey, Jaffe, have you played this messages from? I learned a lot about, and we're going to talk about one you can play for free this weekend that I recommend. But Awesome Tatum has stepped up with 5 memberships. He is now the king and he gets a song. But that brings us 5, 6, 7, 24. You guys, we're one away from being halfway there. Now, I just can't tell you. I can't tell you. You see, when I woke up this morning, I said, maybe I will convert to a religion just to fuck with Alex. And then, hang on, let me do the math. 1, 2, 3. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, 24. And then we have to say that Tatum is a master Batum with a platum of fries. Oh, I'm good. I'm really good, you guys. It hurts to be this good sometimes. Thank you guys all. Awesome, Sergeant Pompish. Listen now. The fuck was I talking about? Yeah, we're gonna get to Twisted Metal in a minute. Swap Fire. It's interesting, right? Are there still member tiers? There are, but I don't recommend signing up for any industry tiers right now except Diet Soda or Colt. The God of War tiers are great if you want shout outs or you want me to plug your product, but all the other stuff in there is not active, and YouTube is making it very difficult for me to update that. So listen to this. Father Alex, because he heard that I was going to be converting to the religion, now you pay me. Think about that for a minute. Think about the kind of priest you're going to be. Convert to Christianity because he's in the seminary school, and convert to Christianity will give you money. I don't know if it's supposed to work that way, buddy, but thank you, Alex, and RTU's brother after work burrito. Thank you as well. You guys are doing the Lord's work. In Alex's case, literally, I suppose, if you believe in the Lord. Member goal has now jumped to 26 out of 50. I have decided that you are all now my new best friends. Although, do you know it is my friend's birthday, that I have been a friend with this guy my whole life, really. And he's in California, he's in LA, but I'm very much looking forward to calling him or texting him and saying happy birthday. I don't get to see him as much as I'd like to, but I'm glad he's doing well. Anyway, if you're watching Carrie, he's probably not, but happy birthday, buddy. And then Fanto has stepped up with another gifted membership. So that brings us to, thank you, Fanto. So 24, then 25, 26, 27 goddamn Cock of Duty memberships. I don't understand how you guys are A, so generous, and how you guys are B, so rich. In this economy, how are you being able to afford this? It's like, we're not, Jaffe. I lied to my wife and we're going to miss our mortgage payment, but I wanted to see the God of War shit, you son of a bitch. I understand. All right. Let's move forward. Thank you guys. Seriously, RTU, Father Alex, and Fanto. Appreciate it. What was I talking about, though? I was talking about, does anybody remember what the fuck I was talking about? What the fuck was it? We're going to get to Trump. We're going to get to Twisted Metal. There was a Twisted Metal leak today. Yeah, Matthew says, I think every time we get State of Play, people are expecting E3 levels of stuff and everyone gets disappointed. That's absolutely right. And the thing is, and I say this all the time, and I just don't think you guys hear me, or maybe you guys just don't have a PC. I don't know. Or maybe you agree and you just don't say anything. But what I would say is that Steam Next Fest 4 times a year is better than E3 ever was. You miss the social aspect and all that, and the big reveals. But if you love games, it's like a fucking Sundance Film Festival 4 times a year. Listen to this. What the fuck is happening? Who is this Hideo Shoto? Is this Shuhei Yoshida in disguise? Because I'm going with the Japanese name. Is this Jin Sakai? Perhaps from Ghost Tsushima, who has been resurrected for the sequel for marketing, and he is donating yen that is converting to YouTube dollars? I don't know. But this motherfucker has just stepped up, and he is now Lord. He has taken over the beautiful text stylings of Jaffe, and that is despicably, delightfully, deliciously generous, Hideo Shoto. Thank you, buddy. Let us now jump there and say, this math is easy. I'm not very smart with the math. Where'd it go? Wait, where'd it go? That's not what I want. Cancel. Member goal. Edit. Okay. Member goal is now 37. We might even do it today, fellas. We might get there. Hideo Shoto is an OG motherfucker, assuming he is not spending his mom's credit card. Excellent. Thank you, good sir. Thank you, good sir. And don't fucking blame me when your mom comes hunting for you, boy. I appreciate it, sir, a lot. What about this now? Talk about the goddamn what's it called? Talk about the goddamn Steam Next Fest Mecha Break. Now, I've not downloaded this. It's like a gajillion gigabytes. I can fit it on my computer and stuff, but I'm like, people are loving it. It's from the guys who make, I believe, the war tank World of Tanks or whatever. I get the sense that this is probably going to be more pay to win, but it is made in America, right? It's made in Irvine, and maybe it's worth it. Has anybody played this yet? Everyone's talking about it. The headline here is Mecha Break is a larger than life hero shooter that scratches my Titanfall itch. I don't know if this is currently available on the demo is on consoles. Let me know, but I do know that this is available right now. And you know what? I'm going to play it this weekend. I'm absolutely going to play it this weekend because I just need to be in the know. I'm never very good at these kind of games. Even like Marvel Rivals, I loved. But I'm just like, I jump back to Snap because I'm not good at those kind of games. But that said, though, if you've played it, the word is on the street is great. Has anybody played this shit? Has anybody played this game yet? Is what I would like to know. It's not Armored Core. Awesome says Mecha Break is on the to-do list. Right. It's not like Armored Core. It is more like, it is, but I think it's more of a fast hero-esque shooter than it is like a Tinker Forever. I mean, maybe I'm wrong on that. Is this a hardcore Tinker game? YouTube Mecha Break, but it looks fucking beautiful. Let's check it out real quick. If you haven't seen it, it's worth checking out. Let's see. Where's the gameplay trailer? Let's see gameplay. Mecha Break. I spelled it wrong, but who gives a shit? It'll find it. Okay, I'm not gonna watch all of it. I'm just gonna scrub through it. So let's see. We'll let it play in the background. So this seems more like what is it, the Gundam, the kind of Gundam game that they put out. It kind of seems more like that with more players, like the Gundam Z or whatever the fuck it is. This is real time. I mean, this looks really fucking good. It looks really fucking good. Has anyone in the chat played this yet? I'm surprised they haven't because I think this is the #1 Next Fest game right now over on Next Fest. But, maybe if anybody's playing Steam games, I'll tell you what I got on the list for this weekend. I've got this, the Blue Room game. Samian hasn't played it. Isaac Hayes, holy shit. Okay, well, I'm going to get to those in a minute. I want to keep on with the story first. But I mean, what do you guys think? This looks really good, right? If I stream this weekend, if I play it this weekend, I'll stream it. I'll probably just do a bunch of games tonight. This and what else do I have lined up? Let me see. I have this lined up, and I have Yeah, so Splitgate 2, by the way, is absolutely free right now. The playtest is going on. Apparently, the people who've played it say it is really fun. If you hang on, if you don't know what this is basically Halo with Portal, right? It looks like they also have more. I don't remember the first one having as much sort of jetpacky stuff in it, but it was really fun. And this is out. Virtual On kind of reminds me of that other game. Yeah. Mecha Break. But this I hear is really good. And this is available. At least I know it's on PC right now. The alpha is open. You can sign up on Steam. But I don't know if this is doing a weekend on console. Again, one of those reasons, it's not that I don't like my consoles. I love my consoles, but if you have the means, PC gaming is the way to go 80% of the time. 80% of the time is what I would say. So I'm excited for this one too. Yeah, this is this weekend. Listen to this. Jake DeWitt will not be denied. He just simply won't. Jake DeWitt has stepped up and said, look, Hito Shoto, you can suck my scrot, idiot. Oh, I'm getting a message. Maybe not.
Stephen Hawkins has just donated $4.99 through Super Chat. Sending y'all some dollar because I love you.
I love you
I guess
too.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
Did you ever work on their single track games like Jetmoto?
Jetmoto was playing that on PS1. I have to extend the talk. I will get to that question in a minute. First, I want Jake DeWitt to know how much we appreciate his financial stylings. Buddy, that is generous. That is kind. He has just donated 5 gift memberships. And that is just delightful and sexual. And it makes me make all kinds of questions about choices I've made. We are now almost there, folks. We are at 42 out of 50. And you will be able to see the very, very, very rare. You really don't need 2 of those varies, but that's how very rare it is. You don't even need 1 vary. You just need rare. God of War 1 2005 relic art thing. Now, Hito Shoto has been knocked off his perch, though, because anyone who donates 5 or more, they get to rule the message. Who will be at the top of the leaderboard with the final message? Well, right now, Jake DeWitt looks like, he's at least going to win this for the day if nobody beats him out of it. But Jake DeWitt is the shit. He likes the ladies and likes the kit. Parentheses, the model kit of the character. Oh, I can't, the model kit of, I'll just say Dora, but you'll know, I mean, the character from the hit Nickelodeon show, Dora the Explorer. There you go. There you go. Pop it on up there, baby. Listen to that. Jake DeWitt is the shit. He likes the ladies and the kit, the model kit of Dora. We have made it, you guys. We have made it. Necro. Well, Jake DeWitt, I hope you enjoyed the view at the top. I hope you enjoyed it because he just got knocked down by Necro. Oh, shit. Now we got ourselves a problem, boys. Now we got ourselves a problem. Thank you to Necro. That is incredibly generous. 10 memberships. Thank you to Swapfire. That is incredibly generous. 10 memberships. The only way we're going to settle who takes down Jake DeWitt is with a video game trivia question. I don't care who answers it, but the first person that I see typing it, whether it's Necro or Swapfire, unless they want to call in both. I know Swapfire can call in. I don't know if Necro can. So we'll do it in the chat. But we are now at 62 out of 50. I've never seen something like this in my life. I think we have to give thanks to Trump, maybe, because everyone's making so much money and the cost of eggs are low. Is that what this is? This is amazing. Okay, but we have to decide who is going to get to be at the top of the message. And it's going to get the final song, unless somebody donates more. But, that would be insane to me. I will show you the God of War art in just a little bit. But first, we have to do a trivia question. I need to know who's going to win. Oh, fuck. Okay, what the fuck are you on about? That is insanely generous to the point that I don't even feel comfortable with that. And if you were to reverse it on your credit card and get the results and then take it away, I wouldn't blame you. Warped Eye has won the day, folks. I didn't know this was possible. I need to totally rip off everything except the homophobia, transphobia, and racism and misogyny of the lolcow network. Come on now. They're not like that all over there, but there are some people that have tweeted things I don't like, but guess what? Doesn't mean I can't work with them as long as I don't have to put up with that and I don't share that bile. But that said, Warped, they are smart about this. And I'm struggling with that relationship because I really like a lot about them, those people. And I also go, but I don't agree with them. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't have to agree with everybody. I don't know. I got to figure it out. It's my own personal demons I'm wrestling with. But here's a demon I'm not wrestling with, math. At least this math, because it's pretty fucking easy. Member goal. Look at this. Look at this goddamn cockadoodie thing. 50 members. So now we are, oh shit, Jaffe, you can do it. 112? Right, because 40 would be 102. Oh my God. We smashed it. We smashed JT our goal, you guys. All right. Well, no one's beaten Awesome Tatum. So, no, I mean Warped Eye. So here we go. First, you get a song. Warped Eye is a very rich guy unless he is a lady. It makes no difference to me, for you can see I want his vagina on my platey, not anything else, just his vagina. I will remove it and eat it as a meal and poop it out and reconstruct it molecularly and give it back to him or her or whatever they are. Warped Eye, thank you. And then you get in the chat, Warped, let me type it. Warped Eye is a hell of a guy. Don't fuck with him or you shall die. Thank you, buddy. Seriously, all of you guys today. That is incredibly generous, you knuckleheads. Incredibly generous. We made it. We smashed it. We doubled it. Everybody, you guys are such a supportive community. Very, very much appreciated. Everybody, please thank Warped Eye, Swapfire, Necro, Jake DeWitt, Hidoshoto, Fanto, RTU's brother, Father Alex, Sergeant Frosty, Awesome Tatum, Pompish Jonathan, and at the very beginning, kicking us all off is Good Sir Kanji and French Inhaler. In fucking sane, you guys. All right, let's get to some of these super chats.
Has just donated 99 pounds and 99 pence through super chat. Mr. Jaffe, I see a glimmer in your eyes. I did not before. You will make another art piece. You will finally get your dream.
He says, I will finally get my dream house. All right, let me address these super chats real quick. Da Vinci's Demon says, Jaffe, when my book is published, I'll ask you to read it then. Should I find a literary agent? Should I self-publish? What's your opinion? Here's what I'll tell you, Da Vinci's. I know you want me to read it. I know I said I would. I'm just really, really busy. If you want to send, how long is the first chapter? If you want to send me one chapter, I will read that and tell you if I want to read more. Not because I'm an asshole, but because it's like I'm already reading 3 books at the moment. I'll show the art in a minute. Nah, dog, you non-financially contributing fuck. Settle, you contrarian cocksucker. But Da Vinci's, send me a chapter. I'll read it. If I like it, I'll say, please send me the whole book. It's again, not because I'm being an asshole. It's just, I'm really busy and I don't want to commit to reading a whole book if I'm just like feeling like I have to struggle through it because it's not for me. Gabriel, but thank you for the super chat. Gabriel, thank you for the super chat. He says, Jaffe, if you have the tech skill, could you go into your past games and tinker, or does Sony have them locked down good? Define tech skill. If I had the code in front of me, no. Could I hire somebody to do it? Yeah. But then I would still have to find a way to have it put into an executable, especially if it was an online focus game, and figure out how to run it without the Sony backend and infrastructure. So, and I really wouldn't want to. If I was going to tinker, I would just start from scratch. And we'll talk about that in a minute when we get to Twisted Metal, the news story. And then Hidoshoto, thank you as well, sir, for the very, very, very generous day. You rich money bags. I got to know what you guys do for a living. Mr. Jaffe, he says, I see a glimmer in your eyes I didn't before. That's because I'm handsome. You will make another art piece. You will finally get your dream house. Happy Ramadan. You know, okay, first off, thank you for that. I appreciate the generosity. I appreciate it. But what you need to understand, is there an echo? There's no echo now. Is there an echo? Are you guys sure there's no echo, is there? I don't think so. What you have to understand, though, fellas, is I've had my dream house and I sold my dream house because unless you make enough money, and I didn't, that your dream house can come with a 1 or 2 man staff, depending on the size of your house, to run it, that becomes your second or third job. And because I have ADD, it's even harder. And so the idea of a house is delightful if you watch it on YouTube and you see the kind of walking through the house and everything's decorated and everything's clean and everything's perfect. But when the camera crews leave and you got to call the plumber, but I'd rather play Marvel Rivals and call the plumber. So that builds up. I had a pool, we had like an infinity pool treadmill in our backyard. I have a cleaning lady too. I have 2 of them. It's not about keeping it clean. I'll give you an example. We had an infinity pool treadmill in the backyard of the house. And when I got Ace, my dog, I called the pool people and said, look, he's a puppy. I have to work. No one's going to be home. I don't want him to accidentally get in there if it turns out that, he can't swim or he drowns or something happens. So I said, let's just drain the pool. And the guy they sent to drain the pool was not the world's, I don't know. Either I wasn't listening or he wasn't communicating, probably a little bit of both. And he drained the pool and he drained it incorrectly. And then there was not enough pressure with the water that remained. So the pool just popped up out of the ground. And there was like $10,000 of damage that I had to have fixed before we sold the house eventually. Right. That times 20 other things per year, plus property tax. I don't want a dream house. I just want freedom. Money brings freedom. That is it. That's all I care about money for, so I can keep doing what I want to do. I don't need the nice shit. Necro says I can confirm. Thank you, Necro, for the generosity today. I do all the maintenance on my own. It's like having a second job. Yeah, to me, it's not worth it. Now, some people love that. They love tinkering with their home and all that shit, but I am not one of them. Semium says it sounds like a lawsuit. Right. Guess who has to call the lawyer, meet the lawyers, find the lawyers, go to depositions. That's a third job. And it's like, I'm good. I'm good without any of that shit. All right, let me bring on Swapfire real quick, then we're going to jump to the Twist Metal story. Swapfire, what's up, bud?
Just a technical thing, right?
Hey,
I was thinking about your show because you have such long watch
By
times.
the way, did you hear me?
Hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
You.
Thank you for your generosity today. It was very generous and you're over the months. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw that you were like, you need 8. I was like, I'll put it over the top.
I appreciate it.
You got a bunch of people.
You got Warped Eye coming in at the end though. Kind of, he's kind of like on The Price is Right. It's like he bets $1 or whatever. Anyway, point is, what's up, Swapfire?
So YouTube obviously runs crazy algorithms. I mean, we've got AI behind everything now, right? And I was thinking with your show, you have fans that stick around for a long time. You've got members that stick around for a long time, long watch times, all the metrics. The show should be rocking, right?
Yeah, I love our watch.
Hedo Shadow has just donated £4.99 through Super Chat. Thanks, pal.
The thing that
yes, I love your answer.
Hang on.
I have the same thoughts. I only rent too.
Exactly, Hedo Shoto. Absolutely. Thank you, bud. I need to figure out how to delay the voice when I'm in the middle of a conversation because it creates an echo. So that's what happened. You may not have heard it because there's a delay. But anyway, point is, all right. So I love our concurrent or our watch time. That's what I'm so proud of on this channel is that the people who watch for a very long time. And so our average watch time is like anywhere from like 20 to 35 minutes, which is crazy. Like for a single show. So I love that. But yeah, we're not a big channel. I don't know. I'm probably not very appealing to a lot of people, but I have a niche audience. Okay.
What I was thinking about
is it the Jew thing? Even though I'm not Jewish, but I was raised Jewish and I have the Jew nose. Is it the Jew thing?
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. Could you hear what I said?
I was thinking that because
he's very classy
and some other things that go on in your show.
Yes.
I can't hear you right now because I turned it down so that.
Got it. Okay. Keep going.
So I was thinking about that. And then when you did that quiz, I was like, you know what? I got this. I'm going to put ChatGPT on so that it's listening to your question and answers it hopefully faster than I would be able to type it or whatever.
Right.
But you cursed, right? So she's listening and she's like, all right, yeah, I would love to answer your question. And you dropped like an F-bomb. And then all of a sudden the tone of her voice changed. And she was like, okay, now let's keep it positive, right? And it just occurred to me to bring that up because I was already thinking that YouTube might be throttling you due to some of the content. But then as soon as I heard ChatGPT's voice go down an octave and kind of almost be like, hey, let's watch the language or whatever she was thinking. She didn't say watch the language, but you could hear, she changes the tone of her voice.
Right.
I was like, you might be getting throttled for that. So it's like
even though, okay, so let me ask you a question. So even though we're not talking about being throttled for advertisers, right? So the only time my shows ever get pulled for ads is when I launch with a copyright song like today,
Right.
like Friday, and I don't remove it right after I go live. But you're saying that's a different thing. Me being ad friendly or not is different than YouTube saying there's a lot of bad language here, and en masse at a channel or at a application level called YouTube, we'd prefer not to send that out as much.
Bingo. Yeah, I think that could be very much affecting the show. I
will do my best. There's two things I'm trying to do better. One, since I've started at LolCal, because I have a co-host for the first time. And so I'm used to talking a long time on my show because I'm usually the only one here. And I'm also used to being in video games where I would be interviewed and it wasn't a conversation. So I would go for 10 minutes talking about an answer. But when you have a co-host there, I'm learning that. So I'm trying to get better at being succinct, which I'm terrible at right now. And I want to try to get better at controlling the language. It's not that I don't want to use the language, but I'd like to try it and see if you're right, because it wouldn't surprise me because the AI can pick this shit up all the time.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, as soon as I heard the tone of her voice, I was like, oh, she's listening for it. So they're probably listening for it too.
Something happened on, let me play this for you. Something happened on ChatGPT where there's a new voice on the desktop, and I know you can change it, but for me, it always goes back to this voice. I'm going to hide you on stream just for a minute because I don't want the echo. Okay, so this is the new ChatGPT where you can talk to it. I've done this before.
Hello, it's lovely to meet you.
Right.
If there's
so
anything you need, please don't hesitate.
So you can change. You can change the voices.
It's great to meet.
Hi there. Hi.
Hey there.
Okay.
Hey, what's up?
So
hi there. Nice to meet you.
Let's say this is the voice.
To help you get things
okay,
done.
but this will not be the voice that I want. Hey there, what's going on with you, baby?
Hey there. Just here to chat and help out however I can.
Oh, it works. Oh, no, it works. Before it was getting a weird audio glitch. I was just doing a test. Hey, did you hear what happened in the Oval Office today?
Today, President Trump and Vice President Vance had a heated meeting with Ukrainian President Zelensky in the Oval Office. The signing of a mineral agreement was canceled, and Zelensky left early, sparking varied reactions from U.S. lawmakers.
Do you think, like, if you listen to the right side of media, they'll say, oh, that shows how strong Trump is. If you listen to the left side media, they'll say this was a disaster. Trump is an embarrassment. Do you think both sides are right or wrong, or one side has a better sense of the actual kind of reading of how this meeting went?
It's common for media outlets to present events through different lenses based on their perspectives. Each side often has its own perspective based on their priorities and values. It's important to consider multiple sources and perspectives to form a well-rounded...
Yeah. I know how to do it, but I'm asking you, what do you think?
I don't have personal opinions, but I can help you find more information if
I'm
you
okay.
like.
Can you talk like a country bumpkin for me? Can you change your voice for that?
Sure thing. How can I help you today?
I would like to buy a bushel of pickles. Do pickles come in a bushel?
Well, pickles usually come in jars, but if you're fixing to get a whole bunch, you might want to ask your local store about it. Anything else?
Yeah. Can you tell me, do you think living in the South is a delightful experience or a challenging experience?
Living in the South can be delightful for some folks and challenging for others.
Okay. She never, God forbid she would ever actually have an opinion. Grok is great these days when it comes to that, because it will actually, you can do a not safe for work mode on Grok now, Grok 3, and it's great.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's something to think about. I appreciate you bringing it up. I will try to be disciplined on a stream next week, and let's see what happens. See if the views go.
Never know. Maybe it'll
all right, buddy. Thank you, Swap. All right. Hidoshi says, I love your answer about renting and owning. I have the same thoughts. I only rent too. I've done both. I owned for a very long time, and then I got out of it, and I love not owning anymore. Okay. Warped Eye again. Hell of a guy. Don't fuck with him or you shall die. Now, let's get to this Twisted Metal news that I've been threatening. And we will get to the God of War. We will get to the God of War reveal, I promise. And if it turns out that you have to go, don't worry. Come back and watch the video on demand. It'll be towards the end of the stream. But right now, report canceled Twisted Metal live service game was a battle royale featuring out-of-vehicle combat in third person. I don't know why they canceled it. This is what was happening in England. But this was leaked. My understanding is somebody at Firesprite leaked this to someone. Jason Schreier, I think, maybe he's Bloomberg, but Bloomberg reported the game last year was canceled after layoffs. The Twisted Metal game was internally known as Project Copper, was reportedly battle royale departure from franchise traditional vehicle combat. Not really, because it's always been a battle royale. But whatever. Gameplay involved third-person shooting mechanics along vehicle combat, with the objective being to be the last one standing. The game was being developed in UE5, including mechanics like earning credits to avoid elimination. The game was intended to tie in with the TV show. No more details emerge, but the news is, thanks to the website of a former Firesprite employee, we can learn small details that give us an idea of what it would have been. So this guy was a UI programmer. It says third-person shooting mechanics. I'm going to show you some screenshots in a second. With the game's objective, just what I said. If it couldn't be more evident, here's some images. The images are censored with the blurry filter, but despite this, we can identify basic gameplay elements along with other details. This is input first. And then we see, and I'll show them to you in a second. Unfortunately, we have to wait longer to see if Sony decides to revive the franchise. Now, I don't know, obviously, why this was canceled, right? I could not tell you. Let me move this off the top of the screen just for a minute because I want you guys to be able to see the full thing. I don't know why it was canceled, but my guess would be either they just got cold feet and said, any service games that are not further along, we need to put a break on. It could be that. It could have been a blast. Could have been fun. I don't know. But it would not. Yeah, the TV show is a lot of fun. It would not surprise me, though, if this was canceled, because it ultimately, when they looked at it and they said, well, why would anyone play this when they can play Grand Theft Auto? Why would anyone play this when they can play Fortnite? Fortnite has cars. You can get out of them. You can get on trains. Like all these other games have already built not just this base game, but tons of shit that flesh it out. Like you can get in cars, you can get on motorcycles, you can get in boats in Grand Theft Auto. And then you can also hop on trains. You can get your buddies in the car. They can shoot out of the car. It's like, this is the most obvious thing. And that's, if it were me and I don't have any inside skinny on this, I would be stunned if the reason they didn't cancel it is because they got to the point where they said, this works, it's great, but we have GTA Online at home, basically. And so for me, I've been talking to Swapfire. He did a demo. Hopefully we'll get some tweaks on it so I can share it with you guys. I do think, and I've said this before, so I'm not going to belabor it, but I think the right way to do a Twisted Metal is you don't get out of the car, because it doesn't really give you anything unless you can figure out what the getting out of the car does at a level that's not just conceptual. Then I think you are in a position where, let me see, Omni motorcycle. I think at that point, you're just kind of in a position where it's just, you're doing it for the conceptual reason, but you're not doing it for the gameplay reason. And that shows. And after the novelty wears off, you're just kind of left with whatever. I think you have to do something like this where they still feel like cars, and they control like cars, but they can also move into this mode. And you are part of the game is learning both modes, but it's not like Batman where it's just like mode A or mode B. The real skill, the real art of playing this game would be navigating instantly between the two and learning how to master the physics as you come in and out of the Omni mode. And there are pros and cons to being in both modes, right? That's the kind of shit I think, and I'm not saying that would work and that solved it, but if you're not thinking about Twisted Metal like that, or at that level of we have to push the idea into a realm where we get a richer suite of mechanics to play with, I think you're fucked. And I think my guess is that's what they discovered. It's either that or they just looked at all the failures and said, yeah, I don't think we can make this work compared to given how we're suffering so many other places. Let's double down on Helldivers. Let's double down on Destiny, and let's see what we can do. But I don't really know. But these are my guesses. But it's nice that we get to see the first glimpses of this game finally. I've been hoping to see it for a very long time, and we're off to the goddamn races, boys. That's pretty cool. Matthew says maybe you're out of the car after you get knocked out. You can repair your car on foot, but it's super easy to kill you on foot. Yeah, but what you have to do is you have to think about it. Yeah, Awesome. Let me get Awesome first. Awesome says, I'd argue though that the whole TM experience, being in the world, the heavy metal, blowing shit up is part of it. Yeah, all of that would be there. I'm not saying you go to an omnidirectional future bike. I think you would work with some great concept artists and or AI wink, but probably concept artists to start, or maybe through the whole thing. It's a different conversation. But I think you have to figure out how do you capture, a muscle car or a limousine or a bulldozer that still reads as a bulldozer. It's not a future bulldozer, but it just happens to be in a world where wheel technology in drivable vehicles, in vehicles, evolve to be omni, but everything else is normal, right? I wouldn't want to change any of that. I don't mean Destiny. I mean, Marathon. Sorry. Okay. But getting out of the car after you get knocked out, I mean, you could do that, but ask yourself, are you putting that mechanic in the game because you want to get out of the car? Because there is a conceptual joy to it? Or is there something genuinely compelling about the mechanic where I'm playing, I get rammed really hard, and instead of trying to recover and immediately go into offense, defense, or charging up a special or whatever, which would be offense, you now have this thing where, oh no, I have to run back to the car. Would it be fun and funny for the first 10 times? Yes. But would it actually be the meat and potatoes? I don't know. If it were me, I would very quickly prototype that and let it live in the code for a good month or two while we're doing other things and see if people are like, okay, it was fun at first and it wore off, or it could be more, it could be more, but I certainly would try that, but I wouldn't do a full on get out of the car, run around mode at all. Warped Eye, I agree. If you're enjoying the conversation, brought to you by Warped Eye, who will kill you because he's Warped Eye. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends. You're goddamn right. Let's just see if the experiment works today. Hit the like button. Unless you hate the show, I just want to know this. If I ask you to hit the like button at the end of the stream, do I go, holy shit, that worked? Or is it like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do it, which is totally fine. I'm just saying, I'm curious because all these YouTubers always ask for it. I'm like, I guess I'll ask for it, see what happens. Why did the last Twisted Metal fail so hard? Well, the main reason it failed hard, like it came out of the gate really strong. But we had, I guess the best way to put it is like handshaking issues between the peer-to-peer side of the gameplay that was mostly being serviced in the Utah code, like locally in Utah, but also sending it out to the relatively nascent PlayStation Network in terms of things like matchmaking and stats and all that. And it became very difficult for those two aspects of the game because we had never done it before and we didn't have a beta. We became very difficult for those things to work, and it made it hard for people to connect, basically. All right. Let's see. Let's jump to I got more game news, but I would be remiss if we didn't at least touch on the politics. We can get to game news maybe tonight on Tech Talk, some other weird news tonight on Tech Talk. But I do want to get to some of the I was going to talk about Gene Hackman because I'm wondering, because it is such a question about how he and his wife and their dog died. I saw somebody online questioning how much of this is maybe they were worried they were going to appear in the what's it called, the Epstein things, but who knows. You're excited for the 20th anniversary of God of War. Hey, I think I'm going to commit this weekend to going to the panel in LA. So 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock, I think on the 23rd, but I'm not sure of next month. You can look it up. Okay. So, but let's jump to, I want to know what your take is on this video that happened in the Oval Office today. I'm going to show you the uncut version. It's 5 minutes long. So I hope you don't mind. But it'll allow me to go pee and get a Coke, and it also will allow you to watch it in full. And then I'll be back in just a second, and let's talk about it. But here we go. This is the video. But now we're going to get into politics. So if you came for games, I get it. I appreciate it. I love talking games. I love talking pop culture, but it's hard to not talk about this as the show wraps up. But we're going to play this. Then we're going to talk to you about it. We'll take calls. I know Pete Turtle wanted to call back in, but this is a 5-minute video. Let me go pee, get a drink. By the time I get back, it'll be over, and then we'll all be having the same context. All right, here we go, folks.
Yes, but after that, he broke this ceasefire. He killed our people, and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring it into this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine? Did you see what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I have actually.
You guys are saying you cannot hear it or it's too low. Rob says he can hear it. Jonathan says he can't. MK Ness says it's low. Somebody help me out. Let me open the volume mixer while I'm waiting to hear what you guys are saying. Because I want you got to hear this shit, boys. You just gotta. Okay, Fenta says they can hear it. So Rob the mod, is it something I need to worry about, or people can hear it fine? Or do I need to try to up the sound?
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring people, you bring them.
Pump it. It was low for me, but I turned up the volume on my phone. Okay. I don't think I can turn it up any other way. Honestly, let me just check one thing. Maybe I can. If not, we'll just have to go with it and hope you can hear it. But I think I can turn myself up, but I think it's as loud as it gets. Okay. Perfect volume. All right, here we go. All right. Sorry. I'll start again real quick.
Yes, but after that, he broke this ceasefire. He killed our people, and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring it into this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine? Did you see what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring people, you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people in your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know
bless.
That.
You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's exactly what you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good. We're going to feel very good and very strong. You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. But right now, you don't. Yeah, you're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once? This entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you? You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war,
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country is in big trouble. Wait a minute. No, you've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning. You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone. And we are thankful. I said thanks.
You haven't been alone. You haven't been alone. We gave you, through this stupid president, $350 billion. We gave you military equipment, and your men are brave, but they had to use our military. If you didn't have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days. This is something
maybe less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this.
Again, just say thank you.
I said a lot of times to American people.
Accept that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
I understand.
I think it's very important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the cards. You're buried there. Your people are dying. You're running low on soldiers. Listen, you're running low on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing. And then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I want this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire. I want a ceasefire because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about a ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't with me. That wasn't with me. That was with a guy named Biden, who was not a smart person. That was with Obama.
It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is, Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins.
Obama?
You gotta be more thankful. Because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to Mr. Vice President.
So, and I'll show you one other thing, which is just disgusting from the press, and then we'll talk about it. This was just hilarious to me.
Second
question. My second question for President Zelensky. Do you ever? Why don't you wear a suit? Why don't you wear a suit? You're at the highest level in this country's office, and you refuse to wear a suit. Just want to see if you do you own a suit?
Yeah, problems.
A lot of Americans have problems with you not respecting.
I don't have such. I will wear a costume after this war will finish.
Okay.
Yes, maybe one.
Maybe something like
yours. Yes. Maybe something better. I don't know. We will see. Maybe something cheaper than. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for.
I mean, so okay, I'm not going to say anything yet. I doubt that you would be surprised about what I think. If you would like to call in, the link is at the top of the show. We can talk about it just for a little bit. Matthew says, who the fuck cares? I think we all should care. I mean, unless you're just, an apathetic person like I am in a lot of days and just kind of going, okay, ultimately none of it really matters. Sure, I get that. But I think we should care a lot. I think we should care a lot about what this is. If you care about not just America, but if you care about, the unity of the country and what it means and how things work, So I'm not going to go back and read your comments. So if there's a comment you want me to respond to, please copy and paste it. Yeah, Sabo Productions. Yeah, I mean, I don't know who asked that. Somebody said that was like News Nation or something, which is not like a, whatever. But I agree. That was a shitty thing he said. How he is dressed has nothing to do with the conversation. Yeah, of course. I mean, that whatever you think of Trump and all this stuff. I mean, come on. The suit. I mean, really, how about asking Trump? It's like, hey, I'll tell you what, I'll wear a suit when you stop being accused of sexual harassment. I mean, and rape. I mean, the suit is really the problem. We're a country of fucking idiots. Right. Mad Vision says his people are dying and he's supposed to wear a suit. Anyway, let's bring on P Turtle.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, one sec. There's an echo. Let me fix it. All right. What's up, P Turtle? What's your take on all this? I think I know, but go. Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was your real voice. That was your real voice. Do it again. We heard okay. Tech Protect, make a note of the timestamp. That was P Turtle's real voice.
What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about. That was amazing. You guys heard that, right? Hello.
This is my real voice.
Keep going, P Turtle. What's up?
Well, anyway, I'm happy. I love to see it. I've been saying, a lot of us have been saying it for a while now, that this short fuck needs to come and start wearing a suit when he comes to the White House. This guy is a joke.
Let's jump to the real topic though, because I mean that's
I just
ridiculous.
want to say this real quick before we jump to the real topic. This guy is a joke. This guy was doing gay dancing and playing the piano with his penis in front of millions of people in Ukraine not too long ago. He is a joke, and he is a dictator.
Wait, what do you? I might stop for a minute. Educate me. What do you mean? Not too long ago, he was doing what?
He was a showman. He was no different from Trump, except Trump was always cool. This guy used to put on shows. You can look it up on YouTube right now. Him dressed up like a gay dancer with a bunch of other 40, 50-year-old guys dancing very gay. You can put it on right now on YouTube. There was another show he put on where he was playing the piano with his penis. This guy's a joke.
Okay, so you're saying he like what's the word? He belittled himself like publicly?
I think when you do something like that, and now you're trying to be this leader, this war leader.
Sorry, hang on. There's an echo. There's an echo because I'm looking at pictures of Trump at the WWE shaving Vince McMahon's forehead and also dressing up as a woman with his lawyer Giuliani. Let me get that off the screen so there's no echo. Sorry, go back to what you were saying. So you were saying that Zelensky doesn't have your respect because unlike Trump, he's kind of put himself in a position that is not able to respect a leader that way.
Wrestling is masculine, okay? He's not out there playing the piano with his penis. He's not out there stripping for people with a bunch of gay other guys. Which is,
understood.
again, you can look that up on YouTube. Have you ever seen the video?
My understanding is he was in his former life a comedian, just like Donald Trump was a reality TV star. I understand, but what's your point?
Just saying I don't respect him because of that. But anyway,
let's get to the essence of what we're talking about, though, which is not the suit. The essence is the conversation between the three of them. And
the reason why Ukraine is still around is due to military aid. We've been sending the money. We're the reason why they're alive.
I don't think
they need to show respect.
Well, wait a minute. I don't think anyone denies that. I don't think anyone's acting.
No, but he should come to the White House and be more appreciative. He's coming in there making demands, and it's just like JD Vance said.
Okay,
it's like JD Vance said. This guy not too long ago was campaigning with Biden, and now you're going to come over here and you're going to make demands. You can kick rocks or you kiss the ring. God damn it!
No, this isn't political at this point. This is whoever you campaign with. I mean, it wasn't too long ago. Marco Rubio was being called Little Marco by Trump when they were campaigning against each other, and now he's sitting there as Secretary of State.
I don't like him either.
I understand, but my JD Vance ran against Trump. I know you can't. Okay, so that's an irrelevant point you're bringing up.
Then what is your issue with it? What is your issue with that?
Here is the worst case scenario. Okay, the worst case scenario, and whether you believe, and I know you don't, and that's fine, but whether you believe someone like Hillary Clinton or not, who said 10 years ago that this guy was compromised by Russia, there are a number of, and this is worst case. I'm not saying I believe this or don't believe it. I don't know, but there are a number of people out there who are claiming that both him and Musk are Russian assets. And certainly, given that his first day in the Oval Office originally, not this time, but when he was first in, he brought one of the heads of the Kremlin in and turned off the tape recordings, and none of that meeting is on record, right? So there's a lot of breadcrumbs that suggest maybe that's possible. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, whatever. But what we know is Putin has done a wonderful job at making Americans beat at each other's throats because of his control of bots and social media, possibly his control of Elon Musk, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Well, no. You don't understand. You're missing the point. Like Pompich says conspiracies, right? Matt DeMarco says we're doing Red Scare again. No, you guys have to be smarter than that. What did I say at the beginning? I'm serious, you guys. I'm not playing a character like Pete Turtle is. What I'm saying to you is I am open-minded enough to go, I understand that the left has propaganda just like the right. And all of these people are probably more corrupt than we could stomach. Okay. So in the same way that my mind is open to the fact that I could have been corrupted by the narrative the left is selling on Trump and him being a Nazi, blah, 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 or him, sorry, not a Nazi, but him being a communist asset, blah, blah, blah. You guys have to be open to the fact that when people are talking about Ukraine being corrupt and all this, and it's like my understanding, the way I read it was that they were invaded by Putin, who wants to put the old Russia back together. And many people, including
These are all basically Russians.
One of the developers of Stalker 2 died in that war. Many innocents. They did not strike first. Right? They did not strike first. And so
they had a ceasefire deal back in 2014.
This is what we're talking about. We're talking about when Putin decided to invade. Let me just finish briefly, then you can have the floor.
This is a part of that. It goes back to 2014. Okay. Go ahead.
Fine. Even if something goes back, they were not fighting. And then Putin, as far as we know, there was no provocation for why he decided now's the day to go in and just start bombing and killing civilians. Okay. That happened. And a lot of people, including a lot of countries in Europe and NATO, say, look, this could go really bad because we've already had a couple of missiles that didn't explode that flew into Poland or right up to the edge of Poland, basically, before they were shot down, or I don't know what happened to them. But they're worried, of course, and I think it makes sense that, hey, maybe if Putin takes Ukraine, he's going to now start, pushing into other parts, right?
Yeah.
Hang on. So I don't know how true that is. I don't know how much that's left propaganda and right propaganda, and you don't either. What I think why this is important is, doesn't it terrify you, Pete Turtle, that no one in this chat really knows? And doesn't it bother you that people are in this chat and you saying anything other than, I don't really know what's going on because I've got news coming at me from all sides saying different things? I doubt you've gone to school to learn the history of Ukraine and pre-Putin Russia and all of these things. Everybody has an opinion. And I think
right. You could just take what we have there, right? Trump wants them to sign a ceasefire deal.
Yep.
He seems reluctant to sign a ceasefire deal. Why?
What's the deal? Okay. What's in the ceasefire deal?
What I understand, what he's been talking about with Putin is part of the deal, from what I know, is that, the war would stop, but they would give Ukraine back some of the land that they've taken, but not all of it. And I don't know, that might be it. I don't know the entire part of that deal, but the problem is Zelensky's having a problem that Trump is negotiating with Putin. He was there basically saying that back in 2014, we had a ceasefire deal and Russia just, didn't care. They invaded again in 2014, which is why Trump was saying he wasn't there for that. It seems like Russia only invades when Trump's not in office.
Okay, well,
but at the end of the day, for the war
Russia invaded when Biden was in office, right?
Well, I believe originally, if it was 2014, then Obama was in office. That's why he brought up Obama.
I don't know, but regardless, hang on. Let's see what's in. I'm looking up one thing at a time.
Scream at me, Jaffe.
I'm not. I'm just wait a minute.
I'm joking.
I'm going to tell ChatGPT to please make me a one paragraph.
Oh Lord, you're going to have an AI that was modeled.
No.
Sarkeesian give us answers.
I'm putting in a news story from Australia that's very long, and I just want it to tell me what's in the ceasefire, right? So here's what it says. And maybe this is wrong. Recent diplomatic efforts to resolve conflict in Ukraine have faced significant setbacks. A high-profile meeting between Trump and Zelensky devolved into a heated exchange, with Trump accusing him of disrespect and threatening to withdraw. This is recent, I guess, today. This confrontation led to the abrupt cancellation of proposed minerals deal between the two nations. Zelensky emphasized Ukraine requires concrete security guarantees before engaging in any peace talks, reflecting deep-seated distrust of Russia and Putin. European leaders have expressed concern over the strained U.S.-Ukraine relationship and reaffirmed their commitment to supporting Kiev and Ukraine. The situation underscores the complexities of achieving a sustainable resolution in the ongoing conflict. So if you're saying that he should take the ceasefire deal, but you can't articulate what's in the ceasefire deal.
I'm not saying he should take the ceasefire deal. What I'm saying is he was there today giving Trump and Vance a problem with the fact that they were negotiating and talking with
that's 2 weeks ago. That's 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, Zelensky's like, this is a ceasefire deal about my country. Why is Donald Trump and Putin talking about it? And I'm not in the room. But that's not what today was. Today was not that. Today was Trump has basically said to Zelensky, hey, in some kind of exchange for our help,
the mineral deal.
We want your minerals, and it's kind of like is it smart or is it kind of like beneath American? It's kind of like a mafia deal.
That helps us against China. I mean,
that's
okay,
whatever.
Okay,
but he's also
$350 million in aid and not get anything. We're done. This is not Biden anymore. We're taking America back, and we're taking the world back. Go ahead.
Okay, well, that would ring a little bit stronger to me, P. Turtle, even though I don't agree with it. If by taking America back, what it meant was we're going to take all this money from the mineral deposits. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to use it to bring back the middle class. We're going to use it to make healthcare better. But that's not where it's going. It's going to help pay for the 1% tax cut. Okay. That is where a lot of this stuff is going. That's where all the Doge stuff is going right now. And so the idea that we need the money, it's correct to say Americans could use a lot more government assistance and money, whether it's infrastructure or whatever. But show me the evidence in his previous term or any of his terms that that's where the money's going to go.
Listen, I take what I can get. At the very least, if the gas
you're not
prices
getting
go
it.
down,
No, the egg prices okay.
Go down, I'll be happy. If that is just something that we get from this deal,
do you think the gas prices are currently too high?
They're not too high, but they could be lower. They're not as low as when Trump was in office, and even when Obama was in office towards the end.
Okay, so why are they not lower? If Trump's responsible for gas prices, what could he do?
I'm not saying he's responsible, but I'm saying a lot of those deals lead to those kind of things. You'll see certain things happen due to that.
I see. Zeke says, would you rather the government continue to waste billions of dollars a year? I think when you're talking about a country this size, the answer would be yes. Basically, I think there's a balance. There's a balance where we don't abandon our moral standing and what we say we value as human beings and Americans because the almighty dollar is more important. But at the same time, this is the real world. And I do think we need to do a much better job at taking care of people in our country and using our money to take better care of the country as a whole. But you guys act like what Trump is doing is making America better with these decisions. And my question to you is, what evidence do you have that that's happening?
We don't know that. We're just saying we want something different from the last administration. They were, hold on. Your brother in the chat just said, this guy's a tool. Goodbye. Jaffe, tell your brother I'm not a tool.
I don't see my brother in the chat.
It says Philip Jaffe. This guy's a tool.
Where's Philip? Well, Philip should call in.
Call in, Phil.
Yeah, Philip will take you to fucking school, dude.
Oh, please. And by the way, I'll debate him right now. If I win, guess what? I'm your brother.
Okay, Peter.
He can go find a new brother.
Okay.
Well, anyway.
No, I'd love him to. No. Don't fucking go. Don't fucking last thing before you go.
I have to go.
How convenient. When the real heavyweight of the family comes in, you have to dip out.
I think he was going to call in. He never calls in. But let me just say this real quick.
Before. Yeah. What do you got? What do you got, baby?
I'm being serious when I say that. I'm traveling for the next week, so I'm not going to be around. I'm just giving you the heads up.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm just saying, if you're going to, if you want, but if you get me on this tech talk thing, it's going to have to be sometime next week.
Yeah, well, it's
I just
definitely.
didn't want you to think that I abandoned you.
No. It's definitely going to happen. I want it to happen. I think you will find a wonderful group of people over there that really vibe with, what you're about. So, did he just? duck out? Okay, well, all right. Scott,
Hello.
what's up? It's Jeff. It's up. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good.
Oh,
man.
it's wait one sec. Let me see if my brother's coming in real quick. I don't see him, but okay, keep going, Scott. What do you want to talk about, buddy?
I want to continue on this Ukraine trend, if that's all right with you, Jaffe.
Sure, let's go.
I think there's a misconception that the money we send to Ukraine is somehow cheaping Americans out of, their own livelihood. That's not how
I don't think that's what he was saying. I think P. Turtle was saying the value of the mineral deal that is baked into the possible ceasefire or the possible peace treaty is P. Turtle is saying that would be good for Americans in terms of the money we would make off the minerals coming out of Ukraine.
I mean, but so like if we want to talk about the mineral deal, majority.
I'm just saying that's what he was talking
I understand.
about.
No, I understand, but it's just that even that is a bizarre deal because the majority of Ukraine's mineral resources are in the territories that are being held by Russia right now.
Okay, so why do you think it's part of the? Why do you think it's so important?
But I mean, I don't. Do you think Trump is totally negotiating on good faith? Like, I don't see.
You can't ask me that because I'm biased. I think Trump is a fucking nightmare. I think he is possibly a Russian asset, but I'm also open-minded enough to know that there's no way I'm not somehow tainted a little bit by the propaganda from the left, just like the right people are. But my guess, if I had to make a call, I'd say he's probably not negotiating in good faith at all.
Well, it's just like, I mean, today was a total, I mean, that I've never seen that before. And I'm a student of history and I am studying this. I've studied NATO before and just American politics and diplomacy in general. That is very bizarre and unusual for a president of the United States, like to treat another world leader like that. That just has never happened before. Like we really need to
I'm with you. I mean, that in and of itself, whatever you think of the situation. Now, again, I mean, Trump is Trump and, he's out of his fucking mind and whatever. But the fact, though, that he was surrounded by his VP, and then the fact that when the VP is, I mean, the need for this man to consistently be getting his dick sucked by everybody around him constantly. We saw it in the first term. We see it now. There's something really wrong, not even with him, but with the people who choose to accept those demands. Like, what does he have over them, or how compelling is power? The only person in that room that I had an ounce of respect for was fucking Rubio, who I don't care for at all, because it was clear he was communicating through his posture and face that this is a fucking nightmare and I hate this.
And same with Mike Waltz, his security guard. Like,
I didn't see him. He
was there, and
okay.
So I had a semblance of hope that he appointed some of these more less neocon hawkish people. I was like, okay, maybe his foreign policy won't be so chaotic and appeasing. Clearly, that has gone out the window. Like, if you're a European watching this, if you're a Canadian watching this, if you're part of the Western world, you're watching this, you need to increase your defense spending immediately because it's clear the United States is no longer really wanting to involve. Like, there's nothing. What does the U.S. get out of abandoning Ukraine? Nothing. There has been no concessions Putin has made, and he doesn't seem to even want concessions from Putin. He wants them from Zelensky. And I just don't.
I'm with you. Like I said, I'm trying to be open-minded enough only because I've never seen anything like this. And just because I haven't seen anything like this doesn't mean that my first response is the right response, which is this is batshit crazy. But I think this is batshit crazy.
Sorry.
Let me hang on for a second. I'll bring you right back in.
Ricardo C.A. Staves has just donated €5 through Super Chat. Thanks, pal. The mineral deal, that will go to Tesla, not the U.S. people, was to include guarantees of security, not just...
Okay, so thank you, Ricardo. I'm sorry that cut off. Thank you for the Super Chat. Ricardo says... the mineral deal that we're talking about, in fact, let me bring back in real quick, Scott, so we can hear this. So we got a super chat, which I think is, and I believe Ricardo, he's actually a reporter, so he's not going to, lie. Ricardo's not going to lie. I don't know about reporters, but the mineral deal that will go to Tesla, not the U.S. people, he says, was to include guarantees of security, not just a ceasefire. The ceasefire part is in the deal, but the guarantees of security was cut from the deal, which is pretty fucking shitty too.
Sorry.
That's it. That's all. I just wanted to make sure you heard it.
So like, all of like this idea that Zelensky wants the war to go on. I mean, no, like he wants the war to end. He does. He just wants a ceasefire deal where there are security guarantees backed by the United States, because the sad reality is that the Europeans aren't able to really guarantee the United States that. They don't have the anti-aircraft that the United States has developed.
I think you bring up a really good point, though, right? Which is, I mean, you know, I'm not saying you don't have a lot of good points, but I'm saying that the point that really strikes me that I haven't thought about that you said is, what does America get out of this deal other than pleasing Putin, right? Because you're absolutely right. It's like, what this deal does is say that Putin can continue to kind of, you know, like a cat trying to knock something off a table, and he keeps looking at the owner like, I'm getting closer, I'm getting closer. It's like he can keep being given permission to do these awful things. In my opinion, they're awful things. And that's what he's getting out of it. Ukraine's getting fucked for it. And what are we getting? Right?
Nothing.
And
to appeal to the Trumpies, because I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but let's appeal to them. Let's say, you know, you're doing Kissinger 2.0, okay? You want to pull Putin away from China. Do you really think this is the way to go about it? He's been in office now for a month, and he's just gone on a tirade of attacking every single alliance that the United States has cultivated since the end of World War II. This is not how you conduct diplomacy.
No, if you were a conspiratory minded person, but now it's starting to be correct to say if you were just a logical thinking person, one could assume that Trump and Putin are working together, and it's like basically let us, you know, my brother's theory is that Putin wants to take over that hemisphere and Trump's trying to get Canada and Mexico and all that. And, you know, I wouldn't put it past these two fucking nuts, man, but I know that what that sounds like. And so I'm trying to be a bit measured here.
And like you, I that almost sounds so silly and unbelievable. You don't want to believe that, but like I just don't understand the thought process. And I would love to know if there was truly a grander vision here of the idea that you pull Russia away from China to weaken China, then that, I mean, I think it's heavily flawed the way they're going about it, but at least that I could somewhat understand. But from this vantage point, I don't think that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, we're all going to be watching it closely. I appreciate your insight, buddy. Thank you, Scott. Call back. I'll talk to you later. All right, buddy. All right, let me bring in Christopher real quick, and then I'll bring in Steven. Christopher, how you been, buddy? We haven't talked in a while. What's up? Christopher, are you there? I'm looking for you. You're not under the chair, but that's where you said you'd be. All right, let's bring on Stephen Hawking. What's up, bud?
Not much, man. I was, you can hear me, right?
You're good.
All right, good. Because I just got these new earbuds. I didn't know if they were working out. No, I was just, I've been honestly trying to stay the hell away from the news because it just literally pisses me off and it makes me very anxious and stuff. But watching that.
Wait, hang on one sec. Hang on one sec. Hang on. Okay, I was not going to read that. Okay, Pompich, thank you. He says, Rob the Mod was scared of my huge hog. Thank you, sir. All right. Thank you, buddy. All right, let's bring back Hawking. Okay, well, go ahead. Watching that.
Yeah, it's freaking embarrassing. I mean, there's really no other way to put it. Now, I'm kind of in the middle. I've always been kind of an independent, and I lean left socially, fiscally conservative, but what the hell is that anymore? You know, they all right. But watching that, you know, we're supposed to be like trying to keep Russia at bay. You know, that's the whole point of NATO. And now, to be fair to them, and I have said this critical, it was never smart for us to be building missiles up on Poland and having them pointed right at Russia and all this crap. That was never a good idea. We're definitely, our hands are not clean in this, but
yeah, no one's hands are clean. You know, of course not.
No, nobody's hands are clean. So I'll give people that, you know, like you're poking the bear. But for anybody to sit there and say that was acceptable or okay, they're living in a fantasy land. That's never happened in my lifetime.
And it's shameful. I mean, Bold Alpha Wolf says no one should have to shed their dignity to get aid from an ally. We aren't allies at that point. And it's like, it's one thing to be a tough negotiator, but like a tough negotiator is still a leader, would go, okay, you know what? This is heated. This is not something we should all be just sharing and airing our, you know, JD, thank you for your opinion. Me and Zelensky are going to go off, have some lunch. We're going to talk about this. This is super important, and I want to make sure I can hear him. You know, there's a way to gracefully be a leader and then go behind the scenes and say, dude, I got to play hardball with you. I know you're suffering. Your people are suffering, but here's what we need. You can do it respectfully in a way that doesn't make America look like we're being led by a fucking thug. And I know a lot of people watching this in the chat like that he's a thug. They think that's a signal of strength. That's only because maybe you're a kid and you were raised by an alcoholic, abusive father who used to beat you. And so your view of leadership and authority comes from the idea of, oh, whoever can hit me harder, I need to be submissive to. But that's not, America should not be a bully. America should be a beacon. And it doesn't mean we can't do good business in our negotiations, but it's embarrassing, man. He's an embarrassment to this country, is what I would say.
And the other thing is like, I mean, I can't help but notice it because I'm a wrestling fan. So that looked like a work to me. Like maybe Zelensky wasn't in on it, obviously, you know, he's probably, but you know, they obviously were like, oh yeah, man, we're gonna embarrass the hell out of him.
Hey, he was trained by the best. He was literally
Vince
trained
McMahon,
by
baby.
Man, you got.
I mean, he's got his wife as the Department of Education.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Which, I mean, I really hope that she does a good job with that, but I don't.
I'm always
know how that's
hopeful.
possible.
It's now I'm just quoting from Terms of Endearment. You know, hope for the best, expect the worst. So
yeah.
All right, buddy. Thank you for the call.
There was one other thing.
Yeah, real quick.
What about the single track question? Did you ever work on anything else or help them with Jetmoto?
Right. I was Twisted Metal with those guys, but Twisted Metal 1 and Warhawk were being created at the same time. And my buddy and fellow designer at Sony, Mike Yam, was the lead on that for Sony. So, you know, we would talk and share ideas, and Jetmoto would play the tracks and he'd say, what do you think of this tuning? And I'd give him a level of Twisted and all that. But I was sort of around it a lot. And a lot of the code was shared, like the missiles in Warhawk are the same missiles that Warhawk shoots. But it was never like I came to work one day and my whole day was all about
Jetmoto or something.
No. So
I love this. I loved how you put that shit in TM2, the cheat code.
Oh, that was we were just like, let's just
that was fun.
It. But it was all the same.
But it was fun.
It was all the same engine, so everything it was could share. So. All right, I gotta let you go. I'll see you soon.
You too. All right.
I'm gonna go through these other calls really quick. I apologize. What the fuck am I looking at? Is this the same Scott? Scott, is this still you?
Yeah, this is me. I just want to. Can I just say something about NATO?
Real fast.
Okay. This idea that NATO somehow antagonized Russia by expanding is also totally, in my opinion, Russian propaganda. I think the gentleman before me said missiles from Poland pointing at Russia. There was never troops moving in further than Germany until Russia did the full invasion of Ukraine. And there was never a promise that NATO would never expand. It was always, the Soviets were well aware of this when Gorbachev dissolved it. NATO was free to expand if they wanted to. And it's ultimately up to those countries to join NATO. That is a vote. They have to vote to join NATO. There was a referendum held. And why do they join NATO? I don't know. Maybe think back to 2008 when Russia invaded Georgia. Right. Crimea. And
why did they even set up NATO? Because they had just come out of a war that was built on the back of a guy who said, I want to push my boundaries as far as I can.
And NATO also serves a much more important purpose than just that. I mean, when they created it, they said, keep the Germans down, the Americans in, and the Russians out. That was their principle, right? If you have a defensive alliance, you don't have these competing European building these massive armies, and it's been the plague of, the 19th and 20th century, and the Americans are seen as a stabilizing force. They need to stay in there, right? So,
yeah. Well, I gotta rush because we got to wrap soon. But I want to ask you this question because this I think is the crux of our problem as American citizens right now. Tech, I'll bring you on. I see you in there. So this guy in the chat, Randy says Trump is a breath of fresh air. It is so satisfying seeing him getting things done.
Yeah.
Now, the problem with this that I see is that do I think there is a wonderful, from my perspective, Trump for a lot of people is putting on a wonderful performance of bullishness and I'm not going to do all this dumb Clinton politicking. I'm going to just roll up my sleeves and be a bull in a china shop. And I understand how that is appealing. But the problem comes when clearly, like you say, you're a student of history. I'm sure you can back up what you're saying when it comes to, Poland putting the missiles there or NATO putting the missiles there after X number of things happened and Russia never gawking at the fact NATO might expand. But my guess would be that Randy Disher, and I could be wrong, Randy, my guess would be Randy Disher doesn't have that data with him, right? So he seems more susceptible, at least just based on this comment, to the showman of Trump. But my guess would be that if you said, okay, Randy, give me a list of the 10 things he's done that is actually not just some random executive order that's not really going to yield anything, but really has done to make American lives better in the last month, my guess would be he would struggle to come up with much of anything.
Right.
But would you agree with that or no?
Yeah, and I also think there is a fault on, I don't know, people like us where, we have kind of I think the left has become complacent. And for a long time, I think, the Republicans and Democrats actually agreed on foreign policy relatively unanimously. And then the United States goes into Iraq, right? And it is this blowback. I understand the blowback, right?
I do.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, and the left does a really bad job of they're really condescending to people who don't have their views or whatever. And so I get it. But the fact is, unless Randy is right, and my mind is open, Randy, if you can give me a list of things that were like, oh shit, you're right. That executive order is actually going to pay real literal dividends. And here's how it's going to benefit Americans. And you're not just going with the headline. Then I will say, oh shit, you got a good point, Randy. But my guess is if you're wrong, Randy, then really what do people like us and people like him do to get to a point where we're willing to sort of not be so tribal about it and go, what is best for us tribally as Americans? And let's really come to the table with open minds. That's the biggest danger we're in, is that half of the American public really thinks this guy is one thing and the other half thinks this guy is something else. Do you have a quick soundbite? Maybe that's the problem. A quick soundbite suggestion for that solution.
I don't know. I think, I don't have an issue of Trump supporters themselves, right? And I don't think you do either. I have troubles with the man, but I understand why people support him. I understand this. He's very good at the spectacle. He's great at making a show. And I understand, you see this guy and he's like, man, the neoliberal dream failed us, right? That's how people feel. They feel like these elites have sold us out. And fundamentally, Trump is not a Republican. He's this new Trumpian movement. And that speaks to us more. And ultimately, populism is always like that. And you've seen it rise in numerous countries throughout history.
All right. Well, we'll call back when we talk about politics, because you clearly have a great grasp of it more than I do, and I'd like to get.
I don't know about that, Jaffe.
All right. Well, I'd love to talk to you about it.
My first time ever talking to you. I've been watching your show since I was 17.
Thank you very much. All right, buddy. See you soon. All right. Let me bring on Tech Protect Screen. Why am I showing you Toilet Chronicles? What? Wait, what's happening in my life now? Wait, Tech, are you there?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah. Why am I looking at a toilet?
Have you played this game before?
No. Is it brand new? Is it Steam?
It's $2 on Steam.
And what do you do?
It's a toilet simulator.
Yeah, but oh my God, that's delightfully gross. Okay, I'm picking it up. We'll play it.
$2. The guy in the next stall just wants some toilet paper.
Don't ruin it for me. No. Stop. I'm hiding it. I don't want it ruined. That's delightful. All right.
Good to see you, Jaffe. We hit the goal. Yo, Warp Die. Shout out to Warp Die.
I'm about to show the goal, and then I'm going to call you so we can get on this cam girl stuff.
Sure. I am currently dying sick. Sorry, boys, for not being there in stream today.
Can I call you, or you're too sick to talk? I can take it on my own if you can't. No big deal.
I can be there, but I don't know what else I can do. I'm passing out.
Oh, then just go pass out. Don't worry about it. I won't even call you.
Is a faucet. I don't know if you guys
Goodbye. I won't even call him. All right, let me show you. This is the reward for your beautiful, delightful generosity. Seriously, you guys killed it today with the getting us to the goal. Again, all of the super chats, all of the members, we got 120 something members today, which is fucking ridiculous to me. Thank you guys for that. Thank you guys. Warp Die, Swapfire, Necro, Jake DeWitt, Hidoshoto, Fanto, RTU's brother, Father Alex, Awesome Tatum, Frosty, Pompish, Jonathan, and we got kicked off by Kanji at the very beginning. So, and what did I say? What did I promise? I said, well, here's what we're going to get for our money. I'm going to show you guys a not brand new, but a piece of God of War 1. This dates back to like 2004 artwork. And out of all the artwork I have from God of War, I would give all of it away, but I'm going to keep this until I donate it to like a video game museum or let my kids sell it after I die or whatever. So I'm just going to go get it. It's just over here in the corner. One sec. And maybe what I'll do is I'll take some photos of it and put it up on the Discord for you guys. Okay, so here's what it is. This is when the map for the entire God of War game was locked. Okay, and I'll bring this up closer in a second. I basically took cell sheets like animation. Let me move the mic here. I took cell sheets like animation, and I basically laid out the entire game. And this is all my art, so it's terrible. And it's all my notes of what the journey would be. So if you can see, it starts, I think you can see over there, maybe you can see the Hydra. Yeah, that's the opening level, the Hydra. And then it takes you to Athens in the center. And there you've got the Athens level. And you fight through that. And then you go over here to Pandora's Temple. And then you come out, you crawl out of the grave back in Athens. That's hell down there, by the way. That zigzag thing at the upper left before you get to the big tower, that was supposed to be the sandstorm battle that we actually built, but we didn't have time to finish the effect, so it never went in. Maybe if there's a remaster, they'll put it in there. And then you have, I don't know what that tower was. What does it say? Oh, that's just working your way up through Hades. And then at the end, that's his house where he protects his wife and kid. So that is every section of God of War ever. And so what I will do is I will take about 5 or 6 screenshots of this and I'll post it in the Discord so you guys can actually look, because each one of those really has a more detail in it. Yeah, Tech says it's like seeing pregnancy photos of a baby in the womb. Yeah, I'll get all that scanned. I'll bring it to you guys on the Discord. But that's what I wanted to show you, and I appreciate you guys helping us or getting us and help us. You got us to the goal. I'm curious what you think. I'm curious what you think when I get to zoom in. It's pretty fucking heavy, actually. So, but there you go. So look, I will be on tonight at 8 o'clock California time over on LolCal. I'll tweet it out on my tweet and our Discord. Hopefully we'll see you over there. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. We're bringing on a cam girl to do video game trivia. We're talking about tech news, game news, weird news. It's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you for the subs, the memberships. Hang on, I got a burp. Hang on. Okay. I was going to say, though, I don't think we've locked the show for tonight, so I'm not sure what the topics are yet. But hope to see you over there. Thank you, new members, gifted members. You guys are stupidly, delightfully generous. Thank you for the super chats, the likes. Don't forget to like the show. Consider a membership. Consider a subscription. Consider telling your friends. Be well, be safe, and I will see you guys a little bit later. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.